Henry just tried to jump onto the pillow and the bed, and he like half missed. So he got his front paws on top of the bed and like caught himself on the pillow. And he fell backwards.
Cliffhanger.
Oh no! I'm sorry, Henry.
Aww.
Oh, poor doggo.
I just realized I haven't updated my macros in a while.
That'd probably be.
So you have like not as good bonuses.
Right.
I need
I'm
to
gonna
figure out
fix
how
that.
to do macros instead of typing literally every roll.
I mean, mine is the one that I just have macros set to do normal, disadvantage, and advantage, and I just type other shit in.
I just got way too
Hello.
used in my other games
Night
to just like
guy.
pressing the stuff on the character sheet and it auto doing it. So
We are picking up with D&D.
Feel slow.
So, all right.
Hello, people.
Howdy, howdy. Thanks for tuning in again, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do an introduction of all the characters real quick, as we usually do. This is the Round Stump Gaming Group. We appreciate everybody for coming in and listening. This is the Journey of the Bone Collectors, starring. First, we're gonna have Runark.
I am Runark in Discord. I am playing Ivan Lionheart. I am a human alchemist artificer. I like to throw elemental bomb, cast some supportive spells. I have a little turret by my side. I like to craft things as well. That's about it.
All right, awesome. Ari.
Who's
Excuse me, right before came on. Played Jack. He is a Warforged Paladin. He basically just tries to amend crimes and wields a great axe, and is always accompanied with his little buddy Scritch.
Awesome. Is what's Jack's favorite weapon?
Great axe.
Great axe. All right. Next we have Kuuretsu.
Yeah, I'm Kuuretsu, and I'm one of two people streaming this. The other one being Carnes, who's also known as Lord Kirov.
Yes, everybody. Thanks
Yep.
thanks to them too for streaming. It's awesome to have them streaming.
And I did fix YouTube, so now this actually, I was able to download everything, so I'm gonna be putting the archives up later. But for this, I'm mainly just making sure we have a solid archive for people who want to go back and watch the VODs.
Yeah,
Well, there we
that's
go.
a good idea.
All right, Kuuretsu, tell us a little bit about your character.
Yeah, so I'm Rask. I am a 6'4" lizard folk with oddly clear scales. Not really clear, but translucent scales. That has gotten me exiled from my tribe. And I grew up with a giant instead as a adoptive father, and I am a cleric fighter. So he has hobbies in blacksmithing, and that's very essential to his character.
Very diverse lizard folk.
Very, very everywhere, not
Yes.
really lizard folk.
You could argue it's not a lizard folk.
He, the only thing about him that's lizard folk is really his
Genetics.
the way he looks. Yeah.
Yeah.
I legitimately didn't know what his race was for like the first couple sessions that I
That's
had.
That's
awesome.
okay.
That's awesome. Bashir's like, what is this? A giant dwarf man elf?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Kuuretsu. Next up we have Sir J Face.
Hi, I'm Jay. I play Scritch in the campaign. He is a goblin cleric. He is constantly being carried around by Jack, and he likes to preach the word of his god, Skirt Skirt. And he fights with a war pick and a shield. He's a whopping 3'3".
Awesome. He's a little goblin. Cleric just helping everybody out, doing what he can. Next, we have Rubik, the leader of the Bone Collectors.
I am Rubik, a dwarven paladin, cleric, warrior of multiple gods. He go. He really likes to fight and go to church. Um, he excels at throwing the evildoers into lava and listening to them as they burn to death. He also enjoys drinking with his cohorts, and the rest of the bone collectors, and yeah, he's out to kill evil and cleanse the world of the filth that takes advantage of people that cannot defend themselves and the innocents that don't know any better. That's Rubik.
All right, Rubik. For justice. So next up, and last but not least, we have Sir Carnes.
Hi, I am Carnes in not in Roll20. I am Carnes in Discord. I'm Bashir in Roll20, and on Twitch and YouTube, I am Lord Kirov. Like I said, I'm streaming this campaign. I'm mostly just making sure we have a good archive. So, and you're welcome to watch on my side if you want. But Bashir, the character I play, is a old hermit. He is I think 2'10" is what I came up with. So he's not like tiny, like the low end of 2 foot. He's like on the higher end. He's close. But he is a red-scaled kobold with a blue stripe down his back, and he's known as the Bush because he wears a ghillie suit that covers his entire body normally. He's kind of a grumpy old man, but he's also just a good person in general and trying to help out wherever he can. That's about it, I guess.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate that. That was Last of Us.
This is D&D, not The Last of Us.
I was gonna say something, but I thought that was too much.
Somebody had to, right?
Right.
All right, so thank you for the introduction, guys. Greatly appreciated and well done. We will start off, as usual, by everybody who was here last time to roll initiative, and we'll get started with the recap.
I'm doing
You're doing things.
I'm working on it. I'm slow.
That's okay.
I was fixing my macros, so I had all sorts of menus open. I don't know how to close things.
So, Rask, we tied.
Yeah, you have the higher mod, so I
Oh,
guess
yeah,
you
that's
would
it.
win.
In-game reroll. That's bullshit.
So we started off last week by having a hippogriff race. It was Bashir and Rask on one, Rubik on another, Jack and Scritch on one, me on one, and then the Knoll.
Yep.
The Knoll on one. And we decide to have, have a little wager. The last one there is buying everybody drinks. So we take off. They, Rask, Rubik, and Bashir get into a little scuffle where Bashir gets thrown. They roll a 1. Rubik almost gets, he topples off the hippogriff, but he's tethered himself on. Jack and Scritch just buff the shit out of their hippogriff, and they just leave. They
They
destroy.
cheated.
Yeah.
They Tokyo drift
More or
right out
less.
of there.
I mean, I lit off one of my flares and tried to like blind people, but that never really amounted to. After a little bit of tomfoolery, we all ended up at the with Scritch and Jack obviously winning.
Mm-hmm.
We all eventually get there, and the citizens of Acheron are not very happy with us.
No.
They did kind of tell us when we left to not come back,
Yes.
but
You
we
guys
had
didn't
we
come
did have to return Bushytail. So we get there. They don't like us. Their captain shows up from the guard. Crap.
Yeah.
Somebody else says the name. I can't. I'm
Which
trying
one?
to look it up. But
Which one?
the captain
Icarus?
of- Yes.
Thank you, Kuuretsu, for remembering that. Give yourself 50 experience points.
You say Icarus?
Alright.
Captain Icarus.
Captain Icarus. Yeah. He shows up and he essentially assures the rest of the people that we are okay, and then we did return Bushytail, who basically vouched for us as well. After we Rubik at this point, he's just kind of like briskly walking off, and
He's basically telling everybody that he just won this big battle and like saying,
I'm here to celebrate.
Yeah.
Let's all have a party. Meet me at the tavern. My treat.
Oh shit, I forgot about that. There's a gold cost, I'll deduct for that.
Oh, you'll find out when you wake up.
Oh no.
So we all kind of split up and go separate ways. Blacksmith with Jacques and Tink. Rubik goes to the tavern, and then I am going to with Scritch and Jack, and we're going to the potion shop, and then we ended up going to the tavern after that. So Rask and Bashir, they get there, they have a little small confrontation there. I don't think it did actually this time.
Kind of. Like, I got stopped, but then immediately Jacques just
Yeah,
lets it go.
Jacques kind of diffused the situation. That's what it was. And then you got behind the area. You started to smith for a bunch of farmers that come up. You started getting a bunch of orders. There was the son of Jacques was like trying to like help you but not help you because he wasn't supposed to. So he's giving you thumbs up and thumbs down with the prices. Bashir is this when you clean the chimney?
Yes.
Tink sends him up into the up the chimney to clean it and to get an earring or a ring.
An earring. What was important about? What was the importance of the earring?
Oh, I don't remember.
Ooh.
Grandmother.
Mothers.
Those are mothers, yeah.
And her mother passed away, so it's obviously very important to them.
Yes.
I go to the potion shop where she mysteriously she rolled a 1, but she mysteriously doesn't recognize me. Although I was there a few days ago, and she didn't really care for us then. So I get my dealings done with them. We leave. We start heading to the tavern. Rubik is at the tavern. He basically talks to the owner about basically like renting out the whole area for the night.
Yeah.
Like, I want to buy food, I want to buy drinks for everybody there.
Anybody who comes here.
Yep,
Yeah.
I'm gonna invite the whole town. So he pays, I don't know, 800 gold, I think.
Yeah.
And he walks off and starts telling everybody. We meet up with him, who basically, he's at this point he's like kind of walking around yelling at everybody to come to a party.
Yeah.
So he tells us the same thing. We decide that we're gonna head there now, and he's gonna go. You were gonna go recruit other people, I think, for the party.
He was basically walking around like a town crier, just like, party over there!
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's about it. I think we had one more scene with Rask and Bashir. I remember him coming down from the chimney, but I don't really remember specifics.
Yeah, he finds the earring.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you do anything else, Rask?
I made more stuff. Yeah.
Right. It was a pretty lax episode because we had some pretty battle-heavy episodes. Yeah. A few sessions ago.
It was 850 gold. but I gave them 900 because
In the end,
Rubik is a
yeah.
generous dwarf. Also, some of the furniture may need repairs.
Yes, and for repairs. So after everything's said and done, after your guys' days, all of you guys met up one more time at the tavern, and then you guys separated the day after. For your, all of you did your pretty much your 1 month vacation in a sense, or your 1 month of time off. Whereas most of you actually did work or adventured. None of you really just took time off at all. It was more, let's just say, your own personal time, we'll call it. But a couple of you actually stayed together, and a couple of you separated, going on your own adventure. We'll actually go down a little bit, and I'll describe everything, kind of what each person did in one sense. Starting with Karns and, I will say Bashir and Rask stayed at Acheron Village. They basically apprenticed under Jacques. They got some useful skills and training, and they also learned a lot and became part of the village, and actually made a new name for the bone collectors there. Is also kind of a little bit. The
You were
seems
cutting
that
out
there's
on
a
my
little
end.
romance
One
in the
sec.
air.
One sec.
Snap.
Yeah. One sec.
Hmm.
Hello?
And Karns is a pretty much a protector of Acheron, and has been rewarded a pendant, or basically like a small medallion of his duties of teaching the townsfolk how to defend themselves with defensive combat techniques and stuff on his off time of blacksmithing. So yes, that's what they've been doing in their off time. After they've been done, they actually left Acheron, and they traveled back to Greven. That is where they've only been there for about a couple days. We would say between 2 to 3 days now, of time where they've arrived and been there and settled for a little bit. And that's where they've left off for the time's sake of everybody meeting up in Greven. We've gotten to Rubik. Rubik went on a journey to the west, where there's large like swamplands and bogs, and large bodies of water that are very dangerous, very deadly. And he traveled there to search for a clan of warriors who wore tattoos to embody their strength and their wisdom. And he proved himself worthy of these marks, and was given these marks for a service, not gold or anything like that, or any items, but he contested with them, with the lizard folk, and he honored their clan's traditions with a ceremonial slaying in a battle that must have been committed at a certain time. So Rubik pretty much did work, and
Went looking for a fight.
and got his stuff taken care of. So he is actually just almost returning. He's the last one to return to Greven. Everybody else is there. He's the last one to return. Right, he's actually being taken back by Grim in the wagon. Next up, we have Scritch and Jack, who stayed in Greven, and basically became bounty hunters. And they actually did they solved 3 bounties for the bone collectors, and were rewarded a medallion of vigilance or diligence by Lord Vulcan himself. And they were rewarded obviously with gold and such, but they were pretty much just stopping crime and also taking care of large creatures, these large centipede-like creatures that were burrowing out in the farmland. It's called Ankeg. And yeah, that's what Scritch and Jack were doing this entire time in the month. They were staying at the Bone Collectors Hall as well, so they were helping out and doing their part, getting to know people. And then we have Ivan, who also went back to Greven and helped the botanist Kurt basically discover more and craft more items for his alchemy and his magic findings, and also was looking into his family's curse or his family's disease. And was working with Kurt to find more information and to help with a bunch of different things, pretty much, and move the bone collectors in a better direction scientifically as well. So there was a lot going on with their craftsmanship and their findings. So Ivan just made a bunch of new items and learned a bunch of new stuff from Kurt, the botanist. So with everybody else pretty much being in agreement at this point, Rubik, you're on your way. We will actually start off with you, Ivan. So you wake up and you are in the guild hall, and you can see that you have fallen asleep again at your desk in the greenhouse.
I need to stop doing this. And I'm just like instantly gonna like pick up in like the sentence where I left off and finish that page and kind of just close it up and straighten up my shirt and my hair and everything and stand up and look around. Is Kurt around?
You see Kurt is not.
No. Okay, well I'll get up and I'll head and do we have? I'm assuming we have like a little dining hall.
Yeah.
I'll head there.
Okay. So on your way to the dining hall, you can see that there is basically it's like an area of where there's like a bunkhouse area where there's separate little rooms for everybody. You can see all the doors are shut pretty much where everybody's still sleeping.
I'll keep my eye out for an open door. If I do, I'll poke
Okay.
my head in.
All right, so you walk past and you look for any doors that are open, but no one's door seems to be open. So you keep walking to the dining hall.
Yeah.
When you get there, you actually see that the dining hall is quite empty and a little quiet. And you can see that it's just a couple of candles lit and the sunlight coming through the windows, and it just seems a little bare. Garson's sitting at the bar, and you can see he's just quietly drinking and reading a book.
Morning.
He's just gonna raise his glass to you as he's just continuing to read. He doesn't want to break his thought process or sentence.
I'll head into the little kitchen area and see if I can scrounge something up.
All right.
I'm not a very good cook, but
Roll
I'll
survival check.
see what I can do. +1, so it's not terrible. 16.
You start making what looks to be some hotcakes and some sausages that have been that have been found in the meat freezer. You can see there's plenty of food here. Looks like a good stockpile.
Yeah, I'll start making. I mean, if it's, I'll make a little bit and I'll taste it, and if it tastes good, I'll start making a whole bunch for everybody who is there.
Okay. So you start crafting a bunch of food more for anybody else who could be possibly there. And I will say, after you start cooking, everybody else that is there wakes up from the smell of the food besides Jack, who cannot smell. Jack is still just sitting there resting.
That's just rude.
Get her nose.
Just get a nose.
There's enough craftsmen. We could probably make one for you.
No, trust me. You can just.
Can't guarantee that it'll work, but
Yeah, but it'll be a nose.
Well, I mean, as long as it's visual there.
I mean, you can always get one from a body.
Just weld one on.
weld a flesh and blood nose onto your face. Okay.
I like it.
Rivets.
All right, but so
For the show.
all of us are back in Grievin now, right?
I think everybody but Rubik.
Yeah.
Rubik is on.
Rubik is
Right.
the last one to get there.
Okay, so the important people are back in Grievin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty much
Sounds
it.
So you guys are basically waking up, and all of you have different rooms, but you're in the same area. Like it's like one big long hallway of like an apartment building, kind of. But you guys are all waking up at the same time, smelling this delicious aroma of food coming down the hall. Karn's obvious, or not Karn's. I'm sorry, Jack. You're the only one who's not smelling this, obviously.
Gotta bring it up.
And the rest of you are waking up. So you guys can kind of take it from there. We'll start off with Karn, or Bashir, I should say.
If Bashir smells food, then he'll get, clothes, get his things together, grab his normal gear, and head down.
All right.
And since it's the morning and they're inside, he'd have his new helmet tucked under his shoulder a bit, and he would just sort of walk down and follow his nose, kind of like a small dog almost,
Okay.
sniffing the air.
All right. So you put all your gear on. You start leaving the rooms, basically leading down to the dining hall to find anything of deliciousness that you are smelling and picking up. You definitely can tell someone's cooking. As you're beginning to leave your room, you can hear other doors are opening up. We'll go on to Scritch. You are waking up as well, and you can see that when you are, Jack is, instead of going to his own room, he is basically just sitting in a chair in your room along the wall.
All right. Scritch is gonna get up and go over and wake him up.
You just tap him on the knee, and you instantly see his eyes just kind of open.
It's prayer time, and then there's food.
As the little goblin's eyes kind of widen to you.
You said food.
Uh-oh, we gotta do morning prayer first, though.
Of course, can't start day without prayer.
Scritch is gonna go like, is there a window in the room?
Yes, there's actually a nice stained. This used to be an old church, and there's actually a nice stained glass window in your bedroom.
Hell yeah. Scritch is gonna go like kneel by the window and start praying to Skirt.
All right, Jack, do you wish to join him?
Yeah, I'll join him.
Okay. Scritch, can you give me a little, like maybe a sentence or two of what the prayer would sound like?
Basically, he's just gonna be like, praise be to Skirt. May your blessings rain down upon us on this beautiful, wonderful morning. And may you protect us always. Yeah.
All right. So you basically say your prayers with Jack, and you're both muttering this prayer at the same time. Which I hope one day you guys will get down to a pact and we'll say it at the same time.
we can repeat it in unison.
Yes, I feel like that would be amazing. And, I feel like the listeners would really enjoy that as well.
With the time delay.
With
Yeah.
the time delay, yep.
Yeah. It's gonna go on for an hour.
An hour-long prayer, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to extend the stream.
Oh, God.
So you guys begin your prayers, and then you're gonna get up and head out to the dining hall, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
All right. So you guys finish your prayers, and you open the door, and you see Bashir is actually kind of sniffing the ground like a bloodhound, sniffing for the raccoon that's been getting into the garbage or whatever, whatever that kind of. I don't know where I was going with that. Bloodhound. They sniff a lot. They're pretty good tracking dogs. So, you see Bashir doing the same thing, almost mimicking one, and you guys are leaving the room as well. Next up, we have Kuuretsu, aka Rask. You wake up, and you actually wake up from having kind of a weird dream of your old clan, and you see them, and they are praying to some large creature, and then you wake up with sweat, like almost kind of like a sweat. I want to say actually, it's not a warm sweat. It's a very cold sweat.
Okay. Does it like scare him awake, or does he like wake suddenly from it?
You wake suddenly from it because something seems weird from that vision, that dream.
Okay. Well, I guess Rask kind of sits bolt upright from that, and then he's just like looking around the room, kind of unfamiliar with Grievin. Even though he's been here a couple days, he hasn't quite adjusted to it. It took him quite a while to get adjusted to Acheron as well.
Mm-hmm.
But he kind of files that away in his mind, and he needs to go through his morning prayers too, but it's more of like morning meditation than prayers.
Okay.
So he's going to, I guess, does his room have sunlight?
Yes, you have a nice stained glass window as well that can open up if you needed to.
Okay. He's just gonna open it a little bit and then just kind of warm himself in the
Okay.
sunlight. I assume he's on the sun side. He would pick that if he had the choice.
Yeah, you are.
But he just kind of mulls over it, and then he's not really sure. They're praying to this large creature. What did it look like? Anything that he recognized, or just something very strange?
It looked very strange. You noticed that it had large wings, and that's all you could really tell.
Large wings, but not like draconic wings.
No.
Okay. So, yeah, he's just gonna like take notes about it, and he's not really sure because he was never trained to be like spiritual in the lizard folk tribe, but
Mhm.
he knows that there are shamans and witch doctors there as well that would be able to interpret dreams, and that was more common then. So, after I guess he does all that, warms himself up, since he is cold-blooded, he kind of pokes his head out into the hallway.
When you do, you notice everybody is waking up, and they all kind of see you poking your head out.
Rask is gonna like mouth some words, like he's practicing, and then he says, "Good morning." He's like struggling not to say this one says something.
Bashir, Scritch, and Jack, you all see Rask kind of slowly mutters some words after it looks like mouthing some words, and you all hear this reply, and you guys are all kind of standing out in the hallways together.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Rask kind of looks at Bashir like, did he do it right? This is a normal greeting, right?
Yes.
He gets a very subtle head nod.
Okay, Rask nods back at him and then like steps out. And then he realizes that he didn't put on his armor, so he steps back in and gets ready for the day.
All right. So you guys are all entering the dining hall together before Rask is catching up, just throwing on his armor. Ivan, while you're cooking, you actually hear a familiar voice. Orin is there.
Do I notice him? Or what does he say?
You hear a door open up behind you into the kitchen.
I kind of like look over my shoulder. Oh, fancy meeting you here. Well, I'm...
That's not good.
No, he's
Yeah.
here. Yeah, he came.
Like, I kind of like
Yeah.
stumble over that realization as... But I ask him if he's hungry.
Yeah, I could eat.
Awesome. Go ahead and sit down, and I will bring this out to you right away.
What are you cooking?
Thanks.
Terrell flies out of his pocket and
he-
then instantly flies over to you and like kind of like pokes your nose. What are you cooking, Ivan? It better be good.
Little hot cakes, a little... What would you say was? What was the meat that you said was there?
Sausages.
Sausage. Some sausage, too. Oh, it looks quite delicious.
Sausages, no. Cake, maybe.
You don't have to eat. You want to eat, you can, but nobody's making you.
Stop hurting me.
As I'll kind of like make a plate.
She just kind of tells you to stop hurting animals and flies away back into Orin's pocket.
Me not eating isn't going to do shit about that, and I'll kind of like walk over and set it down.
She just kind of like gets pouty in Orin's pocket. You better not eat any sausages. Orin, you see, is about to reach for some sausages and then stops for a moment.
Oh, why not?
That's hurting animals. Don't do it.
I mean, they're already dead. They're not gonna feel it.
Sure, that's something you want to say to your wife?
Roll persuasion.
That instant silence.
I felt that nerve. Like I almost wanted to duck my head.
Give me a second. I gotta look this up. Oh man.
Good thing Orin's not married. He's really asking for it.
Right.
You may as well be married to Terrell.
Oh my god.
Right? An 8.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
She just kind of stares at you and gives you like that look with her hands on her hips, and she says, "Orin, if you weren't so gosh darn cute," and she just kind of like boops your nose and then just lets you eat the sausages anyways.
Oh shucks.
Orin, as you're about to take your first bite of the sausage, you actually see the door kind of burst open, and you see Scritch hanging off of Jack, and you see Bashir coming in, kind of sniffing the ground, and then standing up with his tail pointed upwards, like as if he found out where the smell is coming from.
Scritch
And then
is just
eventually
gonna-
Rask kind of starts walking in as well.
Rask also has like a sack over his shoulder.
I made breakfast, everyone.
Scritch is food, and then like dive at it.
You see, he jumps off of Jack and over the table, jumps over to the other table.
Oh, God, slow
Orin,
down.
Orin, you are confronted by Scritch yet again, who has no boundaries and no personal space.
I'm so hungry right now.
He's just eating the food off of Orin's plate, and Terrell is just like in shock.
That was my food. Sorry. Whatever food's in his mouth, he's just gonna like spit it back out on the plate too.
He's gonna stop chewing and just like not spit it, but does he just drop it? Like just let it drop in a giant heap of chewed mass?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I saved you some of the work. That is disgusting.
Scritch, this is the third time this week you've eaten something off of our plate. Just get your own plate. Terrell freaks out and yells at him.
I'm sorry.
We have plenty of plates.
Scritch is just gonna like, like slink over and grab a plate, just like defeated and sad. Just start like grabbing some food. And make sure he doesn't grab it off of Orin's plate.
You see Scritch is watching very carefully which plate he's taking things off.
But everyone
Everybody sleep
else's
all
plate.
right?
Yeah, Rask, you grab your own plate, and you can see that there's plenty of food to be eaten. Lots of hotcakes, sausages, and there's even some fruit and berries.
I cut all that up without even knowing.
You just blacked out.
Yeah, I did.
You
Blacked
got
up,
in the
woke
zone.
up, then there's breakfast. Man, that's better than nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody
but
sleep all right.
Yeah.
You don't sound too happy.
I got yelled at.
Oh, just now? Yeah. Well, don't eat off.
I was hungry and I just kind of, food.
Yeah, I know that's the closest food, but that's not the polite food to take. You gotta take from this plate.
And Goblin Tribe, you eat whatever's there.
Right? I mean, I understand, but you're not living like that any longer. You have other people to think about.
Oh, okay.
Oh, come on, cheer up. It'll be fine. We'll have a great day.
Do not worry, friend. I am also getting used to the city. These beds are far too comfortable.
Oh, this is quite a nice place. We'll have to take you and meet my friend Cedric. He's the new Duke of the town.
Rask, while this is happening, Rask is just gonna grab his own food and like sit down and set the sack next to him.
Okay. You all see Rask has a large sack of something tied off with a string at the end to make sure it doesn't burst open at the seams.
Does it look heavy?
Yeah, it looks full of stuff.
Are you gonna topple over?
Rask can carry it no problem. He's very strong, very very hardy, very hard boiled in fact as well. But yeah, does not have a problem carrying the sack. Just very large in size to everyone else.
I get it. That's just a comment
Yeah.
of me saying how big it is.
Yeah.
No, you might.
All right. I'll concede that point.
But he's gonna look and like count everyone there, and he's like, Rubik, still not.
No. I mean, our month is coming up. It's what? Is it today or tomorrow? Or I mean, we still have one more day. I mean, I don't see him being. I don't know. I don't know. He could get caught up and be late. I could see him doing that too.
I have things for everyone.
Ooh.
Presents.
His Scritch doesn't even finish chewing his food as he spits it out kind of all across the table. Jack, you get some of it smashed, like kind of like splattered onto your face. And Bashir, you nearly dodge out of the way as you see that Jack take this assault of chewed hotcakes and sausages.
Scritch, I thought we talked about this. You're going to rust my armor.
I'm sorry. I'll oil it later.
As you see he's trying to swallow.
I kind of just like wipe myself off.
But Rask is just kind of gonna reach in and pull out a bunch of stuff. I guess in order. I guess I'll just go in order of everyone.
All right.
Yeah. So I'll start from the top of the Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Rask is gonna pull out. What is it? So for Bashir, he pulls out a rolled up set of what look to be leather working tools, and he hands it to him, kind of over the plates and like making sure not to get it in the Scritch again.
1 sec, my Discord's cutting it out a lot. Hello?
Can you hear us? Testing.
I
Test.
can hear you.
Potatoes.
All right, Kuuretsu, you can tell
Tomatoes.
Kuuretsu again what Bashir got.
So Rask hands you a little tied up leather bundle. Inside, it seems to be a bunch of tools, custom-made leather tools for Bashir. And he made sure to keep it out of spitting range of Scritch.
Just like holding it over Scourge and then letting
Yeah, basically. He's like reaching over the table and over Scritch to hand it to you.
You even notice that there's the bone collector's emblem is like inscribed on the leather
Yeah,
case
it's like
that,
burned into the leather.
Yeah, that Rask
Stamp.
gives you.
Thank you, friend. Bashir is used to using his own homemade tools. These are much higher quality.
And Rask, spending all that time with you in Acheron, knows of like you guys got to know each other quite a bit. So
Yeah,
he knew all about your tools, so I wanted to make you some nice ones.
Yeah, and he's gonna say, thanks for teaching Rask. Common.
Yeah, Bashir is a bit of a linguist. It is his hobby.
Rask is not.
Brasco, learn.
Rask will try. And then he's gonna grab the next one, which is for...
Do or do
I
not.
guess-
There is no try.
Yeah. Rask is gonna grab, I guess it'll be all of Jay's characters, so it'll be... He's gonna grab, like, from the bag, like, he's gonna, like, rifle around and, like, pull from the bottom. There's this small adjustable harness that he made for Scritch and Jack. And he's gonna, like, he's gonna make a motion to hand it to Scritch, but then he thinks better of it and hands it to Jack instead.
Scritch's face is gonna like light up and then just kind of like get a little sad.
For both. For both.
Thanks.
That way you won't fall off.
What does it like look like?
It's just like a small leather harness that goes over one shoulder. It's kind of like a saddle.
Oh, okay. I was just curious what
Yeah,
like,
and it has like
how
little.
was.
It has a complete set of stirrups. Well, for him.
I'm thinking of like that
step on.
backpack from like Ace Ventura that has like that crazy guy in it.
Your Texan is showing.
Sure. Sure. We can do that. It's however you want to do it.
That's just how I'm thinking of it.
Okay.
Does it come with a
For
pair of cowboy
Orin,
boots?
Thank
No.
you, friend.
Not sure what to give. But he's gonna grab a small like bag for Terrell and also a like like a thin looking thing to Orin, and if Orin looks at it, he'll realize it's actually a monocle frame.
Uh, thank you. And then yeah, Oren's gonna look at it, check it out.
Eye thing. Not sure what called. Looked interesting.
I appreciate it. I'm sure I'll find a use for it.
Yeah. And then Terrell's little bag is a mini narcotic nut acornstein and also like a little bag of acorns.
You see, she tears up and just hugs you.
Rask is like going cross-eyed trying to see her at the end of his nose.
Thanks, Brass. You're the best. She smiles as she doesn't really care about the stuff. She just cares that you gave her something. Why don't you give me
Brass-
more stuff, Orin? She just gets mad at Orin.
All right. And then for Ivan, he's gonna pull out what just looks like a giant, not really giant, but like a good-sized mesh of chain with some straps, and he's gonna hand it to Ivan for the bottom of your bag.
Uh,
Looks like a chainmail sleeve for your bag.
that's fantastic. I mean, so the bag can still rip, but nothing falls out.
Yep.
That's genius.
Yeah, but it's only for the bottom part. So if
That's
it,
the
like,
part that
cut
rips the most. I'll tell you. all my years of alchemisting. Yeah.
Uh,
Is that how you phrase
it?
Alchemist thing?
Well, speaking of that, then here I have something for you, and I'll root through my bag and I'll pull out 2 healing salves, and I'll give them to Rask.
Rask, like take.
For when your magic runs low, this might come in handy in a pinch.
More likely for others.
But you can still apply it as an action. But it heals 1d8 plus 4, and you can use it as an action.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I know you'll put it to good use. And thank you. And I'll take some time, and after I'm done eating, and I'll pull all of my stuff out of my bag, put the liner in, make sure it's situated correctly, and put everything back in. And I'll organize it while I have everything out.
Okay.
And yeah, the only thing left in the bag is kind of poking out of it, and it's like he's still looking for Rubik, but he's not here, so he just kind of goes quiet and starts
As you
eating.
say that, you begin to look for Rubik. Rubik, you are still in the wagon being pulled by Grim.
And the stereo's on and the intro music is playing.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Jay, if you could play the intro song now.
Shit, I forgot I copied some notes. 1 second.
I don't know how to do the things because I'm worthless.
By the way, though, Rubik is flying in Grim's carriage, and he is blaring on a radio.
He's got his giant cat earphones on.
The adventure begins. They were always beside you, your nerdy best friends, and the DM to guide you. And they rise from the flames for the battles ahead. Villains beware, 'cause you're about to be dead. Redemption is waiting. Rise up, don't think twice. Put your fate in your hands. Take a chance, roll the dice. Can you answer the call? Digging deep in your soul as the legend unfolds. Now it's your turn to
All right. So Rubik is flying in Grimm's wagon, going as fast as he can to get back to Grieven. Luckily, it's the beginning of spring, so the roads aren't as bad, the weather's not as bad, the snow is basically gone. Rubik in the wagon with you, going to Grieven. You know that there is an ambassador from Acheron that you picked up as well.
Yes, I'm muted.
Got to happen once a week.
And you know you set up this deal a while ago with the leaders of the elders of Acheron to have an ambassador come to talk to the Duke, Duke Cedric of Grieven, to set up a trade route and to kind of get more of a friendly border and peace treaty side eventually, as things start to become better developed and help Acheron and Grieven.
Dude, Cedric knows what's good for him. He'll trade with the squirrel folk. So we're just traveling down the road. How close? I just bang on the door. How far, Grim?
We're almost there. I can see it now. We'll be at the gate in about give me 3 more minutes. Eventually, you hear some people yelling past him. Slow down, you crazy old man! As you can see, Grim is flying down the road.
Rubik just enjoys it.
You see the squirrel folk is hanging on for dear life as he is scared and does not like how fast Grim is going. He says something new and says in common, "Could you please tell him to stop and slow down?"
Oh, if you're scared, this closet is many a journey has been taken in this closet. It's a safe place, I assure you. No ill has ever befallen someone except for a broken nose or black eye. But I swear it's safe in here.
Wait, what were those 2 things that you said? And eventually, you hear Grim, "And we're here," and it stops. You see the squirrel folk flies out of his seat and falls into the ground.
I'll catch him before he flops on his butt.
All right, you catch him before he basically falls forward and eats it, and you grab him and he says, "Oh my, thank you, Master Rubik."
Yes. You better straighten yourself up. Look at your shirt's all wrinkled. Don't you know how to take care of yourself? You need to look presentable before the Duke, because trade agreements are, risky endeavors.
I know. I'm gonna do my best, Master Rubik. I told you that. It's for the good of my clan and people.
See, yeah, I slap him on the shoulder hard and say, it's for the good of the good of this town also. Don't you forget that. Don't forget your worth.
Yes, of course. Of course. And he smiles as he looks at himself. Eventually, you hear a large gate open, and Grim says, "All right, we're in. We just have to get to the guild house. Give me another minute or so."
Make it 45, Grim.
I can't. They'll definitely get me here. Trust me, I've gotten enough slaps on the wrist before. If I get in trouble again for speeding in a village or a town, Lord Vulcan will have my head.
What a buzzkill. That Lord Vulcan.
You eventually do get to the guild house though, and you see that it's been revamped. It looks very nice. Much different than from when the church originally had it before.
What was the name of the ambassador? Sorry.
Pinesman.
Bushy tail.
Yeah, bushy tail.
Everybody's a bushy tail.
I mean, it's close enough.
Oh dear.
Is that racist?
So we just hop out and just stretch, and I'll just walk up to the guild house, I suppose. Is it in the same location? Or is it? I thought we had moved to the church, or
Yeah, you're at the
what
church now. It's all revamped.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. From all the damages that it may have occurred earlier.
Yeah, and well, plus Garson has rebuilt a lot of it and decked it out with like the bone collector banners and gotten rid of a lot of the symbols of the stained glass of the old church. And they tore down the statue that was in the center of the courtyard. You see that's gone now. It's just a fountain.
Do I see a weird guy with a box wandering around that like stands on it and yells at people?
No, you just see a homeless guy where he was once, where that guy used to stand.
Is it the same guy?
You're not too sure.
I go over and find out. I
Didn't we-
need to know.
Didn't we kill that guy?
I don't think we killed him. I think we hurt him and then he ran away.
No.
You walk over and you can see it looks like to be an older elf who looks very very drunk. And he kind of stares at you and he says, "What are you looking at, madam?"
If I'm here tomorrow and you're sober, I'll give you a gold. And I walk away and back towards the guild house.
What about booze? And he just kind of falls back over and starts laughing.
Well, that's not good. Yeah, I walk into the guild house and just walk on in, and I wave the ambassador to follow me.
You see the ambassador looks very worried for that man out there. And he says, "Aren't we going to do something about him? He looks like he's inebriated, and he looks very, very dirty."
Yep.
Well, shouldn't we help him?
If he was sober, I would have.
Oh,
He seems to be have enough coin to have a good time. Then
I see. You see, he takes notes, learning from your mannerisms and stuff, Rubik, and he's taking notes on like the reasons why you do things and stuff, and your logic.
That's a real shame.
Oh no.
And he looks to you and he says, of course, I see now." And you walk in, and when you do, you see that there is a tall fellow, and you can see that he's a human. And he says, "Welcome to the boat." "Oh, hello there, sir." And he's going to bow to you, and then offer
Yeah,
you.
add attention.
And he stands straight. "Yes, sir."
I'm just joking. How you doing? What's your name?
Devnir.
What a dick.
Devnir?
Devnir. I am the doorman, the guard of the front entrance of the bone collector chapter of Grieven. You must be Master Rubik. Master Orton has been expecting you.
Yes, the little one. Where is he? Are they all still asleep?
No, I believe they're in the dining hall feasting. I can smell the hotcakes and sausages still.
I just start walking away towards the dining hall.
So you make your way to the dining hall.
Yeah, I just hustle away. Just stop talking to him.
All right. So you start hustling with the ambassador, and you stop talking to Yeah, Devnir. You stop talking to Devnir.
Yeah.
Kind of wait for Pineman, and you kind of you see that. Go on.
Oh, I was gonna say before I get to the point where I turn my corner and get out of Devnir's sightline, I say, "What are you waiting for? There's grub in the mess hall. You sit there and look all skinny. You gotta be strong. Gotta eat."
I will get my food later, thank you, my lord, but I must guard the door.
There won't be any left. Then I keep going to the food hall.
Please save me some. And he looks really sad as you say that, and he believes you too. So Devnir just kind of looks real upset and sits back down on his stool and just keeps sharpening his blade. Rubik, you beast it through the entire guild hall till you get to the dining hall, and as everyone's just about to get their as you see, Ivan gets his gift, and you see that Rask is finally all done. You finally hear him say, "Well, the last gift I have is for Rubik," and then as soon as he says that, Rubik, you enter the dining hall.
Do I immediately look up and notice Rubik?
Oh, what timing?
As Rubik enters.
None of you notice Rubik until Rubik says
Oh,
something.
okay.
Okay.
You
Well,
guys
I thought it was typical Rubik fashion. He barges in, flings.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah,
what I thought too.
I wasn't gonna be quiet about it. Like the door bangs into whatever stop is there.
All right, then. Yeah. So as Rask is saying that,
It doesn't break stride when he opens a door. It just opens and like he just continues his momentum at full speed.
All right, then Rask is gonna grab the bag and just sling it at him.
As Rubik enters, his appearance is like not drastically different, but noticeably different. That he has his war helm on his head still, and and his breeches and his cloak, but noticeably like he's pretty much bare chested and like sans breastplate, and he's just covered in tattoos essentially, like some you saw before on it that were mostly covered, and then some that are obviously new and pinkish, a little bit fresh.
Oh.
And I walk in, and two great swords on his back from obviously Sorthol, and yeah. So, boom! I just walk in and start reaching for a plate as the bag comes towards my face.
Rubik grabs the bag and he just kind of doesn't. He doesn't even open it yet. He walks over and grabs the plate, and you can tell he's hungry.
Yeah,
Grim and the ambassador slowly walk in afterwards, and Grim says, howdy y'all?" And he's gonna kind of limp inward as he looks over and says, "Rubik, save me a couple hotcakes, you damn bastard!" And he's gonna smack your hand as you keep trying to grab some.
I grab something else with the other hand.
And the ambassador is just very timid and scared as he's holding a plate but nothing on it.
Rubik, did you have a nice trip?
Oh, it was a fine trip. Went looking for a fight and found a fine one we did. Me and old, and I pull it out slightly for justice.
And for justice, as the sword is unsheathed, and you can see it just kind of gleams and looks around. "Hello there, friends. It has been a while since I've seen you."
I put it back in its sheath.
Are you ever going to let him out for an extended period of time?
No, please no.
I just had cocks inquisitively.
Loud.
I see you got some new tattoos. It looks like.
A little ink. Gotta keep the world bright. Show the world the story.
Rubik, have you been poisoned or something?
I haven't had that much ale yet. It's still early.
No, the stuff on your skin. Are you sick?
You see Jacques is trying to check for your vitals. Jack, I'm sorry.
I don't suppose so. This is just, it's like paints. Kind of.
Paint?
Yeah, we could paint you.
Well, you should take a bath then. If you have paint all over you.
Well, I think he wants it to be there, right?
It's permanent paints. Are you saying I stink?
No, I cannot smell.
Yeah, you do kind of smell.
I turned
Apparently,
to see
you
the
do.
little fucking goblin.
Who's sitting
You
right
also.
to your left.
You also see Rask kind of nodding.
All right, fair enough. Just I keep eating. I say this isn't the kind of paint that washes off. It's permanent. It's like iodine when you get it on anything.
Iodine?
What is iodine? What is this foreign substance?
Rubik
Scritch,
doesn't know
do
how to-
you know what he's talking about?
No.
It's like if I took ink and put it in your tea.
Is that good? Do people drink
Yeah,
that?
that's super good. You should try it sometime. It really gives it a good kick.
Scritch wants tea with ink in it.
That's Rubik turns to the ambassador.
The ambassador is just shocked, and his jaw's just kind of open, and he's just looking at everybody.
I take the plate out of his hand and like reach over to the table and just kind of like pile a bunch of shit on it, like just a little from here, a little from there, a little from there, and just hand it back to him.
You see, he looks at it and kind of gets sick, and he says, "I do not eat meat."
Scritch will eat it.
Oh god.
You guys comes on his arm, like sausages off of his plate.
I have some fruit here if you still have an appetite after seeing that.
And you see Scritch eats all 4 of the sausage links on his plate and then jumps off and goes back to eating his own food, and the squirrel folk is just appalled.
I think we're all appalled.
They were pretty good. You missed out.
What
Rather
did we
than
just talk
appalled,
about?
man.
Oh, sorry.
It was offered.
Thank you for taking care of that little goblin friend. As
Yeah, no problem.
on the table. I will take some fruit. Yes, thank you.
Yes, here. I don't think we met when I was in town over at Akron. Ivan, and I'll extend a hand.
He's gonna use his tail and shake your hand. And Pinesman. Pinesman is my name.
Yes, it's introductions at the table. I'll push him towards like the seats so that we can sit down.
And he just takes a seat instead of standing next to you. And as he sits, he looks at everyone. Hello, my name is Pinesman. It is a pleasure to meet you all.
It's great to meet you too. Are you looking to enter an agreement with Grieven at all? Then?
Yes, that is what I've been sent here for. Master Rubik here set up the appointment for me to meet him, and hopefully he accepts.
He's just a nervous Nelly. This one, you'll be fine. They need some trade. Both towns are growing. It's gonna be good. I don't know why you're so nervous. Just stop. It's a little bit annoying. So the rest of you, it's been a month. What's the Bone Collector's been up to? The A team.
As he looks to everybody, and you see Sorthal's in the back, like eating food but doing dishes at the same time. Hey, Rubik.
I wave awkwardly.
Bashir is going to put a cup of tea in front of Scritch and then look towards Rubric. Bashir and the rest spent good times back in Acheron, looking at Pinesman. Yeah, we talked to our people many things and learned things as well.
I pull out some ink. I actually have an ink and quill set, and I pour a little bit in the tea.
Oh boy.
Scritch is gonna start drinking it.
But
Carnage just
do
gives
we
like
know-
a knowing look to Rubric. Sorry, Bashir.
Yeah, no. Does do we know Pinesman? Or have we met Pinesman before? As people that have stayed in Acheron.
What did you say? You were quiet.
Sorry,
I just heard you.
quiet again.
Okay. Have we met Pinesman before? As people that have stayed in Acheron for the
Yes.
month?
Bashir and Rask have met Pinesman staying in Acheron. You know that he's basically an up and coming member of going to be an elder at some point or another. When one dies or passes away, he's the next up in line. So he holds a lot of ceremonies. He's kind of like he's the one who's got to do a lot of volunteering. He's proving himself to become an elder. So that's why he was sent here to do this.
Rask is gonna shake his tail. We've met.
Yes, Master Rask, and he's going to bow. It is an honor to meet you. A trainer and apprentice of Jacques is a great asset of any village. I hope he taught you well in many secrets and forms of the tradition.
No secrets.
And he smiles. Of course not. And he looks over. He looks over at the table at Bashir, and he says, "It is good to see you as well, Master Bashir. The townsfolk are still talking and still keeping your tradition of the morning training of defensive combat on every other day."
Bashir just nods sagely and says, "Yeah, persistence is key."
He smiles very happily. You two have made a great impact, and the farmers are very upset you left. By the way, Master Rask.
Tink and Enor can handle.
Oh, speaking of which, she gave me this to give to you, Master Rask, and you see that it's a letter from Tink, inscribed with her name to you.
Rask is gonna pick it up and look inordinately happy for no reason.
You see that Pineswood kind of like smiles and looks at you, and then looks back at the letter, like very confused at why your emotions change so quickly. Is everything okay?
Fine. And then Rask is gonna like turn away from everyone and try to read the letter.
You just hear Sorthal in the background go, "Ooh."
Bashir just has like a huge grin on his face.
Did you perhaps leave something there?
As Ivan is now bringing it up in front of everyone.
Maybe.
I'm like continuing to sort my alchemist bag. I'm trying to finish that up.
Okay. So you guys are all sitting around, and Orin, you know that there's going to be a messenger coming tomorrow for the new orders of your guys' new mission as your group. So you guys have basically for the rest of the day to do kind of whatever you want, or you can basically summon the message earlier if you'd like, and you guys can start it now. But Orin, you can relay this message to Rubik now that he's here, and it's obviously it's Rubik's call after that with his group, and you know, Orin's just kind of passing on the torch.
Yeah, Orange's just gonna relay it right away. Relay.
Thank you. Rubik, you kind of hear this information, and do you stop eating for a point to think about anything, or do you just keep eating?
I mean, Rubik's been eating this whole time. He takes a second and then looks up and like, what?
Keep eating.
Give me the give me the short version.
Of the message?
Of the message, sure. Yeah, let's do this.
You can wait till tomorrow for your orders, or you can get them now if you want.
I pick up a plate of food. We'll get them now. And I just keep eating as which way?
Did you see that Rubik's orders is that he wants to go now?
Oh. Yeah, I suppose I'm ready. Ready as I can be. Give me 10 minutes actually, and I'm gonna like finish up and try to like scurry off my room real quick.
10 minutes. You've had a month.
I know when Rubik says now, he really means 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. Damn it, they left without me again. Ivan, alone.
I could concoct some really nice traps.
So
Right. The artificer.
So eventually,
He casts
Orin,
matchbox cards.
Orin, you know that if they wish to do it now, you have a ring of summoning that you can use, and you can summon the creature that is bringing the letter.
Yeah, if they want it now, Orin will just go ahead and do that.
Okay, the small gem breaks as soon as you use the spell, and you see that the large-looking bird creature kind of appears and just kind of like leans down and picks up a sausage or two and just starts eating it. Around its neck are two large, like kind of like almost like parchments or scrolls that have been tied up.
Oop. Did we lose somebody?
We're good.
Okay.
Oren's gonna go up and grab the scrolls.
Okay. Orin, you walk up and grab the scrolls, and you see that one is entrusted to you, and then one is entrusted to Master Rubik.
He'll hand Rubik his scroll
Okay.
and start reading his own.
Yep. Also, I assume I'm like finishing the meal by now because I've just been eating this whole time.
Yeah, you've been
And-
mowing down tons of food.
Yeah, and I just opened the scroll.
All right. So, Orin, yours is orders to stay put in Grieven and to keep guard of the trade route between Grieven and the Ember Citadel and the Acheron. You are also to keep up on your duties as protectors of Grieven in the sense of making sure no crime, cults, or anything else gets started there, and to keep recruiting for the Bone Collectors. Rubik, your new duties are to go to the east, and you are going to go to the deserts of
Desert of, hold on just a second.
Oh, I love that desert.
yeah.
Takes forever to get through there.
Yeah.
Rubik is the journey to the desert of disconnects.
That doesn't sound fun at all.
I thought it was called. Hold on, just a second.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Oh shit!
He-
To the
he
the
went-
desert
They're
of
two
hold
different-
on a minute.
Yeah.
You went too far.
Oh, if I get to disconnects, I went too far. Okay.
Yeah.
Shit.
Gotta look at your math better.
Journey to hold on a minute. What if is like to the north is BRB, right?
Is that to the? I thought that was to the south.
Oh shit. We fucked up. Go back.
No, you fucked up.
No, go back is the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah. The desert of Go Back is like way the other way.
What happens if I just go down?
That's a different desert. On a different
All right, you guys
island.
ready for the desert.
There's no, I mean like down like through the ground.
Oh.
That's a good question. I don't know.
I mean, eventually you get to the other side. Who knows? There might be a different desert.
That's true.
All right, you guys ready?
Shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a desert of.
Iman
Not holding.
Topik.
Is that word?
Yep, 2 words.
Topic.
You gonna say the first one again?
Iman Topik. I'll put it in chat.
Iman. Lessmore would be a fan.
Emante. I spelled that completely wrong.
Oh, that was close.
I almost spelled it emo Topic.
Emo Topik.
I spelled it like topic.
Wow, I was short in K.
Sometimes I want to make sure I'm pronouncing things properly, or the best way. If I can, at least I can spell it out for you guys.
I was just missing a K.
So this is your new mission is to go there, and you are to go to a village that you will get coordinates to your mission from there. Basically, you are to go there, and then that's when you will be told your mission.
So we're just told to report to this location, and then that's it.
The city of Wrath Roka
Is it a village or a city?
City. There is a Harper's agency there that has information for you guys, and that's where the bone collector's member is staying until you will basically get your orders from there. It is going to take for Grim at least a month travel on the wagon to get to the east, or to get to the east desert. So it will take a while.
Rubik starts grumbling about they just gave me a month off. They could have been traveling this whole time to this fucking place, and I just wasted. I could have been earning money. My gold
Rask is
piles
gonna
get
point out, though.
slimmer.
What are you
Rask
grumbling?
is gonna point out you would not have tattoos then.
Dwarves live a long time.
But you would not have
Tattoos
tattoos
take a day
now.
or two. Oh, fine, whatever. Yes, they're great tattoos, and I flex a little.
Rask like reaches over and like pokes him.
I stare Rask in the eye and I like press harder into his hand.
Rask is trying not to break skin.
Rubik
He's
wants
trying
to-
really hard.
If you want to get moving, it will take us at least a month into any problems. But knowing you,
All
Well,
problems.
Grim, a month for you? I seen the way you drive.
well, maybe I can cut that time in nearly half. Give me about 2 weeks, 2.5.
And how many horses?
I don't have horses. I only have elk.
Oh, the elk. Oh, that's right. Then you can't get those around here. We can't like double up on elk, can we?
No, I can trade them in at the nearest bone collector. I can trade them in at the stable in Delmont and get my horses. But that would backtrack us some time.
No.
You have another means of getting there, Master Rubik. As you see, he smiles at a certain at a certain item that you hold dearly to yourself.
Yes, but I fear no one else can run as fast as I.
Not running, Master Rubik. I mean flying.
Do you see wings on my back? I just stare at Grim like. I just stare him down.
All right,
Give me a little stink eye.
He stops talking and goes back to eating his food.
I mean, I think only a couple of us got that feather like I used in the battle.
You're right, Master Ivan. I'm sorry.
Are you growing wings, Grim? Is there something you need to tell us?
Nope. I'm ready to get going if you all are. And he's gonna stop eating and just kind of like put his plate in the sink. And he's gonna wish Sorthal goodbye. And same with Orin. Orin, I wish you were coming with us, old friend. But I understand now you have new responsibilities. You take it easy and don't work too hard now. And he's going to give him a hug. He's gonna reach down and offer him a hug.
Orin's gonna hug him back and said, you take care and keep an eye on these guys.
I always appreciated you liking my jokes. And he starts tearing up a little bit. He's secret, trying to walk away. I'll get to the wagon now.
One thing to do first. Hold on, Grim.
Grim's gonna stop as he wipes his eyes. Just got something in my eyes. You keep talking, Rubik.
Speaking of theater, that's excellent, Grim. I just keep the waterworks. Let the tears flow. It seems so natural. I turn to Ambassador Pinesman. Say, so you have a meeting with Duke Cedric. I wasn't really keeping track of the time or the day. We're here, so it seems like your meeting would be now, and it seems like an honor guard of the bone collectors and full armaments for travel would seems like a proper escort to meet with the Duke.
You're going to come with me to the meeting?
Well, we're gonna drop you off in style.
Oh, all right then. Well, thank you, Mr. Rubik. I appreciate that, and thank you, everyone. I hope I don't hold you up.
Is Orin still in the room?
Oh yeah, Orin's still standing there. After he's just kind of standing there, like watching everybody. You can see he's kind of like looking at over everybody since this is gonna be the last time he's gonna see a lot of people for a good while.
I just turn to Orin and say, perhaps some extra theatrics would be appreciated by the masses. You know what I mean? Voices louder than they seem. Perhaps doors swinging open at a whim. That kind of thing from the shadows.
I'm sure we can arrange something like that.
You're damn right. Let's go, everybody, out to the wagon.
And you see that Rubik shouts orders to everyone to get out, to grab their things and get outside now and to get moving. And it looks like you guys are going to head out now on your next mission. No time to waste.
You're damn right.
Yeah. No time.
So you guys all gather your things. And you look back at the guild hall as you guys are all entering the big, huge wagon that now has wheels, no longer skis.
Yeah. Fuck snow.
It has big studded wheels, and you can actually see the wagon itself has been modified a little bit more. It looks more heavily modified and a little bit more armored.
Grim, you've done some work here.
No, not I. I had to trade in the old wagon for a new one Lord Vulcan had sent me. He said it was more needed for the task at hand of where we're going, but we're actually going to need we're actually going to be taking a different lift from when we get to the desert. Apparently, my no vehicle or creature we have in the arsenal of our guild has the capabilities of getting through the desert.
So what's our plan?
Difficult.
We will be going to a small village on the outskirts, staying there for a moment of time. I was told by Jacques, the blacksmith of Acheron, to stop there in here and Rask's sake.
Mm-hmm.
You see that Grim looks at you, Bashir, and smile. You and Grim, or you and he looks at Rask and Bashir and just kind of smiles at both of you.
Bashir just
Rask is very confused.
Yeah, Bashir just gonna like cock his head to the side like, eh?
Well, anyways, like I said, we gotta get moving, and he's gonna start walking out the door, and he's gonna wish everybody else goodbye. And you guys can see Rothgar and Amelia are there as well to greet you all and wish you all goodbye.
Oh, I give him a nice hug. Hi, bye.
Hi, bye.
Oh, so nice. I mean, I was here for a month, so it was really nice seeing you again.
And they say their goodbyes to all of you, and you guys decide to all get in the wagon. Is there anything you'd like to do before you get into the wagon?
Rask is gonna. Sorry. Rask is gonna remember that he actually has something for Sorthal, so he's gonna run over to Rubik and like pilfer it from the bottom of the bag and throw it at Sorthal. And it's a tankard.
And you see it hits Sorthal and lands right into the sink of dirty dishes, so he can clean it. Oh, thanks, Rask. And before you leave, he's gonna run out and give you a hug.
Can Rask try to crush him?
Yes. Roll a strength check.
Oh dear. Alright.
If only Mike saw his character now.
I can't find my... why can I not find my character sheet?
You got a 17.
Sure. I think mine is... Also a 7... Oh, an 18.
18? Alright, Wow, you see he's trying to resist you crushing him, but you eventually make him give, and he says, Alright, Lord Vulcan! What it is, like, uncle.
Okay, Rast like lets him go. And
You're
says,
safe for
beat
it.
me next time.
Rask, you're so strong. All that hammer smashing and anvil mashing has made you very, very strong. Jeez, Louise, he looks at his arm and it's already bruised. Next time, take it easy on me.
No, you win next time.
All right, I'll win next time. I'll wash more dishes and get stronger. And he smiles.
Then Rast is gonna turn around and go outside.
I love the idea of washing dishes as a workout montage.
So,
Does Rubik hear this?
yeah, you hear this.
A little crack forms on Rubik's heart.
One
In,
day
in
that
what
stone,
sense?
One day the stone around it will go away.
in an emotional sense that's like
Is he heartbroken or is he like
Good
breaking
protocol,
through the
quick
shell?
paladin stuff.
it's a small crack of like a heart broken, but it's a small crack. I mean, it's sort of thought he didn't have that much high hopes.
Aw.
Ouch.
Ouch.
It was really heartwarming at first,
He
and
was
then
the
nope.
he was the apprentice of Rubik, but then Rubik was like, "Oh, well, he's gonna stay here. Fuck him."
I gave him an epic shield.
And he gave you a sword for justice.
No, he gave
For
me some clean
justice.
dishes.
You need to take the frickin' scabbard out, Rubik.
You need to take the freaking scabbard.
Oh yeah,
out.
Rubik's just like holding this bag of stuff. I don't know what it's in it.
It's just
You
the
see, there's
dual
you
scabbard.
don't know what's in it, but you can tell it's whatever Rask. Rask obviously took some stuff out of there and gave it as gifts to other people.
Now that Rubik got his number one thing out of the way and is no longer hungry. And also is has begun the plans to fuck with the he will happily he will wait in the wagon as the others scramble to keep up and yeah, the elk get tethered and will look into the bag that was thrown at his face.
You
Alright.
pull out a dual, like, it looks like one scabbard, but like parallel with each other, but then you realize that it rotates and it has straps to go across his chest. And it's large enough to fit your greatswords.
I throw it in the corner and say, "Oh, useless."
Okay.
Yeah.
Rask is just gonna be like really sad and just sit in the corner.
No, that's fucked up. No, I happily strap it onto my back, and then I kind of saved like because it's kind of like two weird, oddly shaped scabbards before. It didn't really match. It wasn't really his style, you know. What's it made out of, the scabbard?
So it's made out of hardened leather wrapped around a steel core, or sorry, a wooden core with a sheet of steel on the outside to prevent like breaking from the outside, and then it has studded steel collar on the opening side, and then I forgot what it's called, but like on the tail end it has a small like it's like the V-shaped thing that at the tip as well, just so that you can
I know
like
what you're
bang it
talking
against something. Yeah, I forgot what
Yeah,
it's called.
it prevents wear on the tip. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And
are
then it
they
has-
strong enough that if I were to be disarmed, I could use it to crush somebody's skull?
It could be used as an improvised weapon.
Yeah, awesome.
But-
Rubik is approved.
I mean, I hope your scabbard is strong enough to be used to bash people with.
Yeah, like the
Right.
current scabbards are kind of whatever. How's the sound deadening on it? I put the Sword of Justice inside. How is it, DM?
Yeah. You decide. How is it?
With the outer sheet that you have now,
No,
Yeah.
with the new Rasks.
With the new sheath.
Yeah, the new sheet.
you can hear that it mumbles for a moment, but right where the strap is covering most of the blade, is some of the blade open, Rask, or how do you?
No, so it's completely covered.
Okay.
The
No,
only
you can actually see it's even tighter knit than before. Actually, you can't even hear him mumbling.
Silence at last.
A full
Beautiful
month
sound,
of
although I
hearing
do
that
like the
sword.
This is good. Ooh, good work. What do I owe you? And I pull out my gold purse.
Rask just shakes his head. Nothing. For saving Rask from the tiefling.
Sorthel. So he's not so bad. That's quite rude of you.
Rask like thinks, oh yeah, Sorthal is also tiefling. The other one.
Other tiefling. Oh, that the I see. Yeah, he was kind of a dick.
Lava did not kill.
Hmm. Yeah, but perhaps I can crush his head in with this amazing scabbard for the future. Or, much blood will be shed for the bone collectors.
With justice?
Rubik listens. Does he hear anything?
So from the scabbard?
Yeah.
No.
Aw.
Rubik sighs with relief, and then meanwhile,
The voices are finally gone.
yes, for justice.
Does it like vibrate in the sheath a little bit?
I put both swords in, it like rattles the other one.
You can still feel the vibration like you always do, but you don't hear that. You don't hear that muffle anymore, and it's just quiet.
Rubik just like this is glorious. I just like finish like adjusting the buckles and straps and tucking the other one like in like my pouch and say, now there's one more thing, and Rubik will just nap out for like 15 minutes because it's quiet.
Alright.
No wonder Sorthal blew himself up so much. He was just trying to end it.
So you guys are all loading in. You see Rubik is already fast asleep, taking a nap, and all of you guys are just walking and onto the wagon and getting ready to move to the Duke's castle, Duke Cedric, and drop the ambassador off, and then head to the desert. When you guys arrive at the Duke Cedric's castle, and you see some of the guards stop you, and they start talking to Grim. Is there anything you'd like to do before the door is opened, or before you leave?
Bashir would have waited for Rubik to wake up after his little nap. Like he understands that Rubik probably didn't get any sleep for the whole month, and so he'll let him wake up on his own. And then once he notices that Rubik is awake, Bashir's just gonna look at him. It is good to have you back, Rubik. Yeah. It is hard to find those who are worthy to drink with.
Huh? It's just.
What? Bashir, the bush lizard is standing in front of you as the wagon is stopped.
Rask is just sitting off to the side with his arms crossed.
Oh yes, Bashir. That's a. It's good to be back. Also, yes, good. Perhaps drinks before we leave. We need to refill my flask. It seems to be empty.
As he kind of twists the top, and you see that he kind of like opens up his mouth and tries to pour anything in it, and there's nothing, not even a drop.
And
It's a shame for a dwarf to have an empty flask.
oh yes, we should. If we're going to deserts, water skins would be good too, I suppose. So we don't die.
Yeah, wine has water in it.
So does ale, but you know what they say. No, I don't know. Ask Ivan. He's the chemical expert. Ivan, why do we need water and not ale?
Bashir's just looking with genuine like, why?
I mean, I suppose you could drink ale your whole
Oh,
life.
ale
I've
it
seen-
is. We don't need any water skins.
All right. Sure. Stop what I was saying right there, then.
Grim, unload the water. We're filling it with ale.
I'm gonna like go up to Grim and be like, never mind, don't worry about that.
Grim is confused as the guards are kind of listening to you guys like yell out to Grim, and the squirrel folk gets off and says, "Thank you all for dropping me off here. I appreciate everything." And he's going to bow.
Nope. I stop him from leaving, and I say, "Bone collectors!" And like I start straightening myself up. Assemble! And like just like I get out first, like all like proper looking, like very straight back, shoulders back, chin up. And we make like, and like I kind of direct people to like get over there, and like make like 2 lines between the wagon and like the door for him to like walk between. And as he starts to walk between us, I pull out my sword and like present, and like put it like so he has to like walk under the sword, and or weapons of whatever.
Bashir's just got a spear, but yeah.
That's fine, because Rask has a glaive on the other side of you then.
I just realized that he'd probably have a hard time ducking under the goblin, and I assume the robot trying to make a T.
And the kobold.
It's like a lopsided. Yeah. And the kobold.
The kobold and the lizard folk.
Are you... Just don't worry about it.
It's fine.
Unless you want the kobold to ride on the lizard folk's shoulders and just have the two. Do it that way.
I'm gonna be honest, when you said assemble, I imagine us all trying to form some like horrible looking Voltron.
Oh, that would not be pleasant.
Well, so Bashir, do you want to ride on Rast's shoulder, and Scritch, I'm assuming you want to get on Jock's shoulder?
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll get on that cool harness that Rask made for us.
Alrighty, you giddy up on that harness, and you realize it's actually very enjoyable and very nice for your buttocks.
Hell yeah.
As he begins to like approach the door, I kind of like join and walk with the ambassador, and I like look back towards Orin, I assume, who's just kind of sitting in the wagon, and say, and like kind of point to like my mouth and like my voice box.
No, Orin is no longer. He's back at the guild hall. It's just your. It is
Oh,
now just a group of. It's just your battalion of bone collectors.
Oh, I thought they agreed to come with us to the guild hall or to the thing.
No.
Oh.
Orin's got his
Rask
own
is-
shit to do.
Rask will cast Thaumaturgy.
Because you guys are leaving right
amplify you.
after.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you, Rez.
What are you casting?
Thaumaturgy.
Okay.
It just allows me to do like a miracle type thing.
Yeah.
Just loud voice.
Loud voice. That is one of the examples, so yes.
I just Rubik will walk up and like kind of like have the ambassador wait, and he'll just walk up to the door, and he just kind of knocks twice quick and just immediately opens the door.
When you do, you see a butler's about to, and he says, "Oh my heavens, who are you, and why are you opening
Yes,
the door?"
yes, it's the bone collectors. We bring representatives from the city and the trees. The squirrel folk representative, Ambassador Pinesman. You will bow before him, butler.
Roll a persuasion check.
Sure.
I really wanted you to say Ambassador Bushy Tail.
but yeah, I should have. But I had the name in front of me. Persuasion? Oh, sure.
Yes.
Yes. 18.
He's got thaumaturgy too, so he's screaming at this guy.
Yes, it's super loud.
Instantly falls down to his knees and starts bowing to all of you, as well as some of the other butlers, and even the guards kind of like stand at attention, and they stand and bow to you guys as you walk in.
Oh, I thought that one butler was bowing to the other butler.
The the elder says, "No, please, you do not have to bow to me. I'm no one of importance."
And I just shout into as I just hold the door open for him. I just kind of shout into the household and say, "Duke Cedric, I present to you the ambassador from the Squirrel Folk. I trust that you will make a fair trade agreement beneficial for both towns, or else." And I turn around and slam the door and walk out.
Perfect.
Was there a need for such theatrics?
Gotta have a little fun, right?
Well,
Orin will clean up the mess. Whatever happens, happens. It'll be great.
hopefully it's in somebody else's hands.
What's that?
Just leave it in somebody else's hands.
Orin's great. He'll take care of it, no problem. I mean, it's not like we're getting in trouble with Valken, you know? It's just the Duke. Pff, what a joke.
It'll be you, not us.
I mean, we killed the last Duke. We can kill this one.
Whoa!
Rask is gonna look at you and is like, we killed the last dude?
He was evil. Evil.
Yeah, he wasn't a very nice person. He was kind of... It's a whole story. We could tell that on the travel. We have a whole lot of travel.
I wouldn't have killed him if he didn't attack me. He was trying to kill me first. It's fair is fair. I'm just better at it.
You seem to have killed quite a bit of royalty for some reason.
Oh,
no one asked you, Bush.
We also ended up killing the Prince of Delmont.
God.
Okay, in the wagon.
This was all for his house?
That's fucked up. I forgot about.
Rubik doesn't ever want to be diplomatic. He just wants to kill them all.
They're just politicians are just inherently evil. Like that's their alignments. Unfortunately for them, Rubik doesn't enjoy these people.
Doesn't enjoy these people. Unfortunately
Neither
for
does
you,
Dan.
Rubik is here. Politician. No. So, you guys decide to leave the Duke's castle then after Rubik screams this and just pushes the ambassador Pinesman in.
Yeah.
Yes. I want to make sure I have Masuma out with me.
Yep. You see that you're kind of like holding him like a giant pumpkin.
Yeah. Just let him sit
He's
on
just
my
kind
lap.
of squirming and he's just kind of looking around.
Dragon turtle.
Oh, actually, yes. If you can believe it or not, I traded him to Rubik for a pair of shoes.
He hatched while in Ember Forest.
Yes, and unfortunately, it was terrible timing. Luckily, he was resilient enough, and so I'm trying to baby him now.
You see he's just chewing on your belt buckle and he starts bending it in half.
I'm gonna like try to get him away from it, and I'll give him some fish that I have.
He starts snapping. You give him a slab of fish, and he starts eating. And as soon as he's done, he instantly goes into his shell and falls asleep.
Oh, thank the heavens! And I'm just gonna try to be still for a little while. Let him try to fall into like a deep sleep.
Bashir can lend his magics to help you raise him right. Communicate with him.
You see, Bashir is actually petting the shell, and in a nice way, and it seems to be calming the turtle.
Meanwhile, is everybody in the wagon?
Yes.
Yes.
Rubik bangs on the front and says, "Let's go, Grim! Double time!"
Grim laughs and says, "I'm going as fast as I can. I'm outside of the village now. Just give me a moment."
I open the window and say, "Yeah!" to the elk.
You just scream.
Oh my god.
You want
Rask is sitting in the corner.
Yeah, I'm just yelling at the elk.
All right, you yell at the elk, and they don't really pay much mind to you. And Grim just kind of laughs and says, he says, "If you're just gonna, don't just yell nothing, yell something at him. Give it some oomph, Rubik."
Rubik doesn't have any productive yells.
Rubik grasps this holy symbol and will use conquering presence.
Oh God.
They have to make they have to make a charisma saving throw versus 17.
The elk.
Oh, they
Or
made
they're-
it.
Oh really? I'm not
One of
watching
them.
anything. Yeah.
One of them doesn't make it.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Oh
Well,
god.
they're terrified of
Oh
me.
no.
One of them is you see he's outpacing the other, and is breaking stride, and you see that Grim says, "Rubik, what are you doing?" And he has to stop the carriage now.
Useless elk. Horses have all been fucking terrified.
You see that he natural 20s gets the wagon going again instead of having to pull over. And you see that he just says two things and whistles, and they instantly get back on track.
Raska's
That
gonna
is why
elbow
Grim
Rubik.
Master Dragon Rider.
Rubik will like,
Dragon Wider.
Wire.
Rubik will like flinch kind of hard from the elbow to the ribs because he's not used to getting hit there necessarily. Because he doesn't have his chest plate anymore, or his breastplate, and will like spin around and like kind of slump into the bench. Yeah, that's pretty much what you hear.
Sorry.
Ugh.
Just a sack of coins hitting the ground.
I was adjusting something and I knocked my keys off.
Raska's gonna go back to sitting in the corner and reading the letter.
From Tink.
Yeah.
Okay. It's basically a letter of telling you that she can't wait to see you again, and that she's gonna wait for you to return, and she wants to talk to you more about and everything else about like what is to come for your futures.
Raska doesn't know what to do with that, but he just kind of smiles and puts it away.
Well, we got a long ride ahead of us. We haven't seen each other for a month, or I haven't seen you. The hell did you all do for a month? Weren't you bored? I just kind of look at each.
Without you, it's actually really quiet. I got a lot of work done. Tons of work. I mean, I spoke with Kurt. I furthered his some of his research. I mean, I could tell you about all the books I read, but you know, it's not really going to be exciting for you.
The fuck's that supposed to mean?
Well, I mean, do you care about alchemical equations?
Have you ever made smokeless powder? Blast powder? DM, I don't know the name for it.
What?
Is it blast powder in this world, or is it gunpowder?
Blast powder.
Blast
I
powder.
can make smoke powder.
Or smoke powder, whatever it is.
Yeah, I do actually. And I pull out a little powder horn. It's basically a small horn filled with smoke powder. I mean, I haven't made some in quite a while, but it should still be fine as long as it doesn't get wet. It'll be.
Yeah, you know what happens when you fuck up?
Oh, I do.
You make Rask snacks. That's what happens.
I hope you wouldn't eat me, Rask. And I look.
And you look at your fingers.
Raska's gonna look at his fingers and then back at Ivan, and then just shrug.
That's unsettling.
No
At least make
wasting.
sure I'm dead. I'll donate for science. There we go. You do some research and you can have some fingers.
What science?
Well, you know, you're a healer of sorts. You must deal with some diseases and curses, even.
Raska's not like eating diseased fingers.
Don't eat. I have a disease that runs in my family. It hasn't quite onset yet, but it's coming.
Rask will have to try.
And you see that Ivan, after he says that, seems kind of uneasy about it and like laughs, but then looks down and looks like kind of sad and disappointed.
Rubik's kind of taken aback that Rask is talking about eating Ivan's family's fingers. Or at least that's what he's gathered.
Rubik offered, so Rask is just like, okay.
Yeah, I'll do it.
It'll be fine.
So yeah, you guys are still traveling outside of Grieven, heading to the east.
I turn towards the... What the fuck's the goblin up to? Rubik all of a sudden whirls around looking for the goblin to see what kind of trouble that little motherfucker's making.
Is he just asleep?
Scritch?
Oh,
Yes.
No.
Scritch.
Rich.
What?
What trouble are you making?
Currently none.
Why?
Wow.
Wow.
You're boring.
Oh,
Scritch is being actually
Scritch,
like,
Scritch is
cooperative.
behaving for the moment.
Oh.
You see that he's
Key-
just kind
key-
of kicking at his feet and he smiles at you.
Keywords for the moment.
he's plotting.
Just wait till he gets bored.
Boy.
And I look towards the robot, and Rubik's not sure which creeps him out more, the little goblin or the robot.
Jack, you see that Rubik is staring at you now. I'm just kind of looking you over, waiting for you to do something or say something.
What are you looking at?
What did you do for a month? You just, like, turn off?
No, I solved crimes and resolved bounties.
Yeah, Jack and I, we did, got rid of the criminals.
Did you got rid of them? You killed them?
No, we turned them into the proper authorities.
And then you killed.
No.
You got
they
paid
killed 'em.
thousands of gold for the reward.
Sure.
Sure. You
Nah.
didn't get paid.
Not thousands, but a little less.
But gold, right? Not copper.
Correct.
You know the difference?
Yes, I know the difference between
Does-
gold and silver and
Does the-
copper.
Yeah, one's shiny, one's less shiny.
He does have a point.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Is the goblin just kicking his feet, kind of like a little kid smiling?
Anyway, well, you guys, so interesting. Rubik will turn and open the window to talk to Grim. Grim, what'd you do for a month?
I hauled all of your asses all over the place.
Thank you, by the way.
He just kind of grovels as he's smoking a long pipe, and just kind of like puffing on it. And you see he takes out a flask and he says, "My true best friends right here, tobacco and alcohol." And he just kind of kisses his flask.
Oh, that hurts.
Oh, son of a... Damn it, I like, not shoulder, like, little elbow nudge the bush and be like, you forgot to tell them that we need to fill our flask before we left.
You shouted it. I thought he heard.
Don't worry, we'll be stopping in a town that will have ale.
Bashir will hand his own flask over to Rubik. Here, to tide you over.
I just need a taste of...
Say goodbye to your alcohol, Bashir.
I don't drink more than half. I drink something less than half, but more than a gulp.
Yeah, it's high quality alcohol.
It was a kobold-size flask, so you drank it all.
That's true.
Right. I mean,
that's why I said less than half or more than a
Look.
gulp, unless it's that small. I don't
look,
think it is.
he might be a kobold, but he drinks like a dwarf. So
Okay.
Very true.
It's just a flask with diesel fuel.
God. It's basically. Oh, it's just alchemist fires, yeah.
Oh, perfect.
You make that happen.
Exactly.
Right.
You could.
I mean,
Have
the
some.
Rask still does have his flask.
Scritch already drank ink.
Not anything.
As you see Scritch just smiling with like black teeth.
It's
It
not
was
really
delicious.
Don't goblins have black teeth already?
Shh. Don't worry about it.
Or
Blacker than
Rouse.
normal teeth.
Oh yeah, the gobbler's teeth should be like super black right now, like ugly black, like still like a little bit white around like the insides, but like around the gums and stuff would be like, oh.
You assume I had white teeth to begin with.
No, but I just assume it's just way worse now.
So Rask,
Hmm.
I noticed that you speak a little more clearly.
Hmm. Fish.
Anything happened there?
That. Rat. I practiced with Bashir and Tink.
Well, you're really coming along.
Tink.
Your sentence structure's getting better. Hey, I still want to learn Draconic one of these days.
Did you study?
I've been studying other things, and I kind of like hang my head.
Rask will teach. We have time.
We do have a month. That's exciting.
What did?
What?
What else did you do during the month?
Well, I mean, we were doing quite a bit of repairs around the new guild hall. I keep wanting to say church. Oh yeah, that's right. You weren't there. We took that church over from a cult, actually. Oh, I remember that. That was a
all we did.
that was a good fight.
What? Like elf cult? Dark elf cult?
Oh no! It was the name Rubik. Who are they following?
Nurgle.
Was not a good time for them. Actually, we did quite well. They actually we fooled all of them and went right around most of their troops. Went through a secret entrance that some of the guards showed us.
It was kind of a pain, to be honest. You know, we had to kill all their grandparents. You know, there's just so many.
Oh,
And we just decimated them. Don't you remember?
Ivan's just shaking his head as Rubik's telling the story.
The undead. Just all their grandparents were coming at us, and we just had to we just decimated all of their grandparents. Maybe that caused problems between there was conflict there. They weren't happy we killed their undead grandparents, and so this cult then tried to attack us because we were attacking them. And there's this guy with this box. If you ever in the town square, there's a guy that likes to preach about this. If you ever see a guy standing in a wooden box, just take him out, please. Anyway,
Any box?
Any box?
I mean, it was a wooden box, not too
There
high.
was a person in Acheron who stood on a box in front of church.
Rubik turns around, just wide-eyed, and goes, "Grim, how far to Acheron?" How far?
It's way out of the way.
How far?
At least 3 months travel.
Rubik pulls
What
out a
does a
whistle, blows it,
squirrel
and disappears.
Oh god.
No.
any person on any box?
No, I'm joking. Um,
No.
no, there's just a guy that. Anyway, they're all evil. They were sacrificing towns members, and it wasn't as bad as what it seems. Dude, it. What? It,
And the
us slaying their grandparents wasn't as bad as what it seemed. They were already dead,
yes, you should
But-
have led
the cult was worse than what it seemed because that they were sacrificing town members, and they were evil. Okay, don't you trust us?
and the Duke was working with them. That's why we had to kill the Duke.
I mean-
so how many evil cults sacrificing innocents led by
Royalty.
royalty have you come across? That was not your first time?
Well, it wasn't really.
Sorry.
It wasn't really led by the royalty. They were just they were working together. It was led by Father Albert. Who, I mean, I really don't know his background.
Led by
was
the
involved.
cult?
Well, I'm saying the leader of the chapter that we took out was Father Albert.
So, like, priestess.
In a sense, yes.
So, like,
He was.
Elven.
Although I'd say he was much weaker than the one we fought at the Ember Citadel.
Rask does not understand.
Bashir does not either. He is far too used to bandit culture and does not know what is cults. Religion.
I don't know. They both died screaming like sissies. Shrug.
True.
Shrug.
I shrug.
We got a month of this, eh?
Hmm.
What is the meaning of your tattoos, Ulrich? Do they have meaning, or are they just images?
No, so Rubik's tattoos they're like partly covered by the bone collector's tunic. That's just kind of like draped over his shoulders. But as he starts like he just kind of unwraps and says, "Oh, you just a lot of needlework. Some of it's a little rough, but it's interesting color." An image of a paladin in full plate armor, like it's like a battlefield scene. So on the right shoulder and like arm and like going up to his neck is like a paladin full plate armor, and his shield's like raised, blocking a blow from like this shadowy figure without like any real form, and a gauntlet on his left hand glows with the mark of the watchful eye. If you look from his other side, there's a warrior in like it's like a half chainmail shirt and like breeches with a great sword that's like posed to attack another of these shadowy figures, with a gauntlet on his left hand, glowing with like just a white power, and then from like the whole scene in the center on his back, where like the light and shadows seem to have been like emanating from, is a lithe plated warrior, like half chainmail, half like plate, who seems to be glowing with an ambient light and is reaching out towards both of these other warriors with a holy light per se, and is standing there amidst the battlefield of the basically shadowy figures all around, and like behind them they're kind of like surrounded, these three figures, and so yeah, and each is representative of a god, and there's helm, torm, and the just as I say it, it's a strange word, but you interpret it as, do you know celestial, Bush?
No.
Okay. You hear it, but it sounds odd, but it basically your mind interprets it as the general.
Hmm. Does Rask recognize it as lizard folk artwork?
Yeah, the style of it is yes, but the art style of it, or the
Is
like the
different.
artistry of it, like the
Is much more
tapestry, than the
intricate.
chosen, yeah, is basically foreign. It's but you could definitely tell it was blood ink art.
But
This from lizard folk.
aye, they're the ones I've earned it from. Your kin? And question mark.
No. Were they blue scales?
DM.
They were green.
Other green.
Oh, no. Green they were in the swamps.
Not my tribe.
Fine artists they are though, and mighty warriors, though not as mighty as some. And I flex a little more.
You said you earned the right. What did you have to do?
Everyone, quiet.
Where is it? I had to. It was basically I don't know the interpretation. I would call it a bounty, but it was a bounty, a challenge, a request of the elders of the village to fulfill my request. I must do something for them to prove my worth, and so they sent me out into the swamps and to find and kill an orc lord, come to be known as Urkill, the Thumb Splitter, and bring his head back. And as as Rubik kind of like moves his cloak around, you can see tied to like the back of his belt is like the head of this
The whole
this
head.
dude. Yeah, well,
It's just
it's
been there the whole time.
well,
Nobody said
okay.
anything.
I'm sorry. It's not his head. It's his skull that was like the flesh was intentionally removed by like chemicals and cooking it off. And I have his skull and his crown are like essentially attached to my belt, like underneath where the cloak drapes.
You can see a large orcish-looking skull draped there with the crown kind of crookedly set on top of it, tied to the skull so it will not move. You see Rubik tied it there as a very decorative reminder of a mighty orc lord who he killed. The skull's quite large. It's a little bit bigger than it's the size of one football standing like lengthwise up, and then one going widthwise out.
Was it easy for you? Not that I expect you to admit difficulty.
Do I have any scars that, in particular, that sustained during a DM?
Yeah, you have 3 down your back from the large war claws that he used on your body, and you can see that he got one from the top of the corner, basically down near your hip.
I kind of like point out and be like, oh, right here, see the striations in the background on the cliff side? Oh, those are scars I earned, and they embedded into the tattoo. And there's another one over here, and I'd start showing it off. Just
And you see that as Rubik's doing it, he's flexing at the same time.
because flexing all the time.
But she was just like skittering around onto like the wall of the wagon to get a better view, so he doesn't have to stretch it as far.
But yeah, it's like pretty much the only thing that like it wraps pretty much like 360 around him, like 270, I would say. His arms, his whole back, and like parts of like his like abdomen and chest and neck to like complete the scene, and then it kind of fades out on the front.
Oh yeah. Seems like you went through an interesting ordeal there. Glad to see you're back better for it.
Let's just say, it's, when you can heal yourself, it comes in useful sometimes. Makes this go much faster than what would have normally been allowed, I suppose.
Yeah, you seem actually quite healed up for them being only a month old, or a little less than.
Ah, well, the good craftsman clean needlework and whatever ink they use. I don't know, they're crushing gemstones into it, or they whatever additives they seem to be constantly adding to it seem to have helped. The healing process was.
So you're saying you're a dwarf infused with minerals, gemstones.
I am one with the mountain.
Well, that's pretty fitting, I suppose.
Although I'm kind of happy that I'm not shiny. That would have been strange.
Wait until you get into the sunlight.
Will you glitter?
Yeah, will I glitter?
I'll make you little
The
Rubik.
right light and what your activity is, yeah, you can glitter.
Rubik looks grumpy, but inside he doesn't hate it. He likes shiny.
Rubik and Shiny's a better story. Better
So
love
am I
story
to
than
understand that Rubik bedazzled himself?
Twilight. Yes.
To accent the tattoos.
Can I roll a perception check? Is this Warforged royalty a prince of some sorts?
So he needs to die.
Where were you born, Warforged? Just Rubik.
Who are your parents?
Yeah. So you guys continue on to ride, talking and kind of discussing amongst yourselves, getting to know one another. Is there anything else you guys would like to talk about or share while you've been gone?
Rubik's just kind of fondling his new scabbard and just going along for the ride. That's pretty much it.
I'm glad you
Rask
said
is-
scabbard.
Yeah. Fondling your new skin.
The great sword's foreskin. Yes, good.
Excuse me. Rask is actually gonna like hold his glaive out for Rubik to look at because he changed it.
Rubik will invest in. I don't know what you want me to roll for that. Investigate, I suppose.
I mean, you can just look at it.
Or I just look at it. Is it different?
Yes.
All right, DM. Which one did you pick?
Second one.
Second one. Okay. That is the hollow core, right?
Yep.
Okay. So you can tell that it's a little bit. It looks kind of the same on the outside, but that the shaft is different. It seems to be lighter, and like if you flick it, it's hollow. And yeah, I mean,
I have.
shh. Don't worry about it, Ferrum. Yes, I know.
What?
Would you rather me call it the haft because it's technically also a spear? So.
I mean, I'm just giving you a hard time. Continue.
No.
I apologize.
No. Yeah, no. What does Rubik notice about it?
What does Rubik notice about it, DM? I lift it and I give it a spin and like I do like a faux attack towards the goblin because fuck that guy, but I like stop
Wow.
it like mid-flight. How's it feel?
It feels very light and very, very different and very balanced this time. It doesn't seem off-centered. And when you flex the blade, you actually can feel almost no kickback or no vibration, really.
We're in an extremely large wagon, by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
It's a
I mean,
pretty.
It's gotta be to fit us all, though.
I mean, if I cut somebody, it's fine. We have a long trip. Might as well make it interesting.
I mean, I guess Scritch is on top of Jack, and Bashir is just like scuttling wherever he can.
I mean, the glaive is as tall, if not taller, than Rask. So, for him to spin it around, this has to be a really large wagon.
It's fine. You can stand up in the wagon. So can I can
folding.
spin the thing.
It's got like a full
Okay.
coffee table between us.
Yeah.
Rubik's got 80 years of experience of just doing dangerous shit, okay?
Alright. Don't accidentally hit any of us with it, please.
DM, can I roll to see if I hit anybody with it?
Who are you trying to hit,
I don't know.
sir?
I'm
How
not
many
trying
of
to
it-
hit anybody. I'm just saying I'm spinning it real fast and all over the place. Being all dangerous. You gotta liven it up in here. Everybody seems pretty down.
Just roll a
They're like,
d6
oh,
and see who you
vacation's
hit.
over, back to school.
Let
Like,
me spin this big blade that I've never used before. Everybody hang tight.
hell yeah.
Rask is like holding his hands up, like not telling him to stop. Because
It's like
he's
it's like
already
spin the
like,
bottle
gouging
for
into
Rubik,
the
but instead
ceiling.
it's who's gonna get cut first.
Bashir will just hide under someone's legs so that he doesn't get hit.
So am I rolling something?
Yeah, roll for attack, Rubik, because you're basically like, I'm feeling
Sure.
kind of bored on this wagon trip. I'm gonna start spinning this spear around.
Is this an exotic weapon or no?
It's a martial,
A martial weapon.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
technically.
Yes, technically it's a martial weapon.
Make it +8. 14.
You swing the weapon around. You don't hurt anybody, but you actually come pretty close to scratching the chest of Jack.
Ah, feels good. Seems the rotational force seems to be outward towards the ends a little more, and the what is this? You put a blade on the bottom, or what? Is sharp here now?
It has a hollow
Commenting
core
on the-
now, and Rask is just like gonna happily explain it because he gets to talk about blacksmithing. He's like, I put a hollow core in, and it was poison before, but now both ends use poison, and it balanced because it's now got a steel core inside, and it's not just some piece of wood.
How did you overcome the weakness presented by the removal of the innards? This isn't just wood anymore. And I'm like knocking on it and like shaking around and like, what kind of material is this?
This was very difficult to make. Rask had to heat up the steel core and burn pit this hollowed out twig, branch, no, piece of tree.
Yeah, a piece of that seems most correct.
Yeah. It
Oh, I see.
It took many hours. Rask almost got burnt. Enor did get burnt a little.
You're not really going after it at the forge unless you get a couple burns to show for your work. What about this part here? And just kind of
Part are you pointing at?
the butt end, like where you would like hit somebody with it. Does it have like spikes or something to like transfer
There's
the
now
poison?
a spike at the end. Yeah. There's just like a spike at the end now.
I don't know if you put like little like mace head with a bunch of spikes on it or something.
No. It's just a spike. It's like a bladed spike. So like if you took a spearhead and stuck it on the end instead.
Oh,
But it's a
gotcha.
small one.
That's cool. And the materials used that they're common materials, yes.
Core has to be because poison will break metal. Eventually, have to replace.
So you have to replace the whole shaft, or we just have to replace the metal core?
The core.
Perhaps we can come up with something that'd be strong and more resistance.
Rask has many plans.
Then I continue to look over Rask's work as far as like attaching the new shaft and like the diversion of the poison down the shaft to the other end, and just the minute things, and pointing out like, oh, you forgot to burnish straight hammer mark. It's just you'll improve in the future. It's
You look it over, and you could tell that there's very little to be corrected, and if there's anything that's kind of to be corrected, it would be like little like slight things that you could tell would be very difficult to would be 100% master. But you remark on some of the things, and Rask, you get some good positive feedback from Rubik about your craftsmanship, and you can see that there's only a few things that he points out that are very minimal and very little things that you're still learning, and you've mastered.
Almost nitpicky.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Rubik's being nitpicky for sure. Like they're obvious, they're flaws, but he only noticed them because there's no like major flaw that would be an
Yeah.
issue. It's like it's pretty much perfect except for like, oh, this speck of paint is slightly off.
I mean, I guess the only real thing that you could complain about is how he wrapped the handle. Because it's more, he didn't have a chance to get like good
That gets
leather
changed
wrapping.
all the time anyway.
Yeah, so this is like, it's gonna have to get changed pretty soon, because he's been practicing with it.
Good thing Bashir's there.
Yeah.
And then
So you're still firing Rask's weapon?
yeah, and after we finish that, I'd pull out the sheath and start asking him about like how I made, what material we used, and just if we want to continue on to other people's RP, that would be good.
Yeah, we'll just have this conversation. We're preoccupied with this for now.
All right,
Yeah.
Squirt and Jack, what would you guys like to talk about as you're kind of sitting there with your new group? You guys are kind of obviously what everybody's a little bit about, but you guys can kind of discuss stuff amongst yourself, or you guys can. This is a good time to ask other people questions of where they're from or what they've done. And
Scritch is just gonna kind of sit there and kind of listen in to what they were talking about, but just kind of like zone out and like not really pay attention to anything. I don't know.
all right,
Like he's gonna like listen, but only like half listen, I guess.
okay.
I'm currently thinking.
Jack's thinking real hard.
You can see
Is there
smoke
like
coming
a
out of his
a
head.
whirring and a beep boop for you thinking?
Yeah, you hear that sound of when a fax machine is booting up and trying to make that signal and send the message.
Oh, no.
You guys all just hear this noise going on?
It's the AOL connecting noise.
Yeah, I was saying.
Yeah,
I was trying to remember what it was. Yeah.
dial up. All right, let's go.
Dial. Yeah.
I don't know what his name was, but Rubik is now just gonna call the robot AOL.
Oh no. What is AOL?
It's a fantasy story for children. Dwarves tell ancient times.
I got a question, Caleb.
Yes.
I got my warg and everything, right?
Yes.
Okay. What is he just following the wagon? I guess since I'm not.
No, he's
riding.
in the wagon.
Oh, all right.
We
Well.
said it's a large
fucking
infinite
warg
wagon.
in the way.
It is a house-sized wagon.
I'm just imagining it's like,
Oh my
like
God.
a livestock wagon where it's like supposed to hold like several horses, but they just converted it.
All right.
Pretty
In that
much.
case, Scritch is just gonna go over to him and just kind of like cuddle up and sleep.
You do so. He just kind of puts his big paw around you and wraps you up like a little teddy bear and just keeps sleeping. You all see that obviously the Scritch has his own dog, or it looks to be a warg actually for a specific breed.
Huh.
Oh,
He's-
what? Sorry.
No, go ahead.
What do you have there?
You see, Ivan is kind of curious and doesn't know how to say it or how to ask.
Is a large wolf almost?
This is a warg. His name's Scree.
And as soon as-
Scree.
And as he says his name,
Scree.
his eyes just kind of perk up in his head. Just
Oh, he's. Well, I mean, he's honestly, he's quite quiet.
Who's a good boy?
did you say that? He just.
Oh, and there we go. I'd say something, didn't I?
He's a good boy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wargs can speak their own language and in Goblin too.
Yeah, they can talk to you.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Carnes, you can somewhat understand the war too, knowing Sylvan.
Bashir actually knows Goblin.
Oh, then there you go. You understand him very fluently then.
Bashir will just be sitting there like chatting with the warg, I guess.
The warg just says, "I'm a good boy. I'm a good boy," and he just kind of gets excited as Jack asks him who's a good boy, and you can see that the warg spins around just waiting for a treat.
like talking to a brick wall. Bashir's just constantly trying to get any more information out of this thing because he thinks if it knows Goblin, it should be smart enough to be able to hold a conversation. So he's trying to converse with this dog.
Does Rubik see this dog?
Oh no.
Oh god.
Yes.
Yes.
Probably.
Is he royalty?
No. Does Rubik just maybe I'm deep in conversation with Rast. Does Rubik see the dog?
Oh yeah. Yep. You kind of like stop your sentence and look up, and you do a double take.
It just Rubik stops like just mid conversation about the stitch I would use across the. If you ever get hungry, good snack. And I just look Rask in the eye, and then just go be this double stitcher. I would always end with a double half hitch, and then like a timber knot on this end before you go into this next double weave here on this leather. It's very very strong that way.
Rask is very confused because he learned all of these terms, but in Sylvan? So he doesn't know the common equivalent to this.
Rubik's being kind of old man right now and just ranting about stuff.
Okay, but
And just,
Rask
like,
heard
talk-
the if you want a snack part, and he's just gonna be like, it's fuzzy, can't eat. Have to cook. Or skin.
Rubik pulls out a +1 survival knife and like boom and like stabs it into the bench. and continues talking about the leather work.
Rask is gonna pick up the knife and just like test it. Not sure if tiny goblin would want. And then he hands it back.
You're right. No, goblin fingers are no good. Just the dog though.
Elf fingers better.
Well, you would know best. I can't argue that. I suppose elf fingers do look quite delicate. I suppose is that like the fancy bits?
That's like a diet
tried-
finger, I would assume.
I was thinking high class. Ivan, have you ever tried fingers?
You know what? I was on the verge when I had that awful, disgusting taste in my mouth, but I refused.
What do you think, Rescue? Is he missing out or what?
Rask doesn't have elven archer fingers anymore. He's not best anymore. Do not have.
We'll have to find some more of those in the future.
Elven fingers have best flavor, but orc have more meat.
If hungry, then orc. If want taste. Sorry, if you want taste, elf fingers.
Sugoi. It's just giving my one word in Draconic.
I want it to be canon now. Draconic is just Japanese.
I mean, I could do it then.
Okay.
今度は時間が足りないのでな。But he's just gonna look at Rubik and give him a thumbs up.
Rubik's got like a shit-eating grin, just looking back.
Good, good, good.
Bashir's just gonna look at Resk and in Draconic just say, soon we will teach them all the language and they will be better for having it.
Sorry, can you say that in Japanese?
Dude, I cannot speak Japanese. I watch anime, that's about it. You get like Jotaro quotes, that's all.
Rask is gonna respond with, in Draconic, Ivan was picking it up and teaching me common in return. He would probably be the easiest to teach right now.
Bashir
Ivan
knows
does
many,
a little Master Chief fist bump.
This is all in Draconic. I guess you understand Ivan.
I heard my name.
Yeah.
I think Ivan's head looks up at the same time that the wargs does.
As we're discussing fingers, and then suddenly we switch languages, and then you hear Ivan's name, and he just does a fist bump with me. Okay. That's technically what just happened.
I like it.
So for context, Ivan just he hears us talking about eating fingers. We switch a different language, and then he hears his name.
And I'm on board apparently.
Yeah, apparently. Raska's gonna fist bump him and then pat him on the shoulder. We're not talking about eating your fingers.
Oh, okay. I mean, originally that's not what I was thinking. That's not what I was okay, but I understand how that looks. Yes.
Rubik is in common says, "No, I was talking about eating the gobbler's dog,
Oh,
the ugly one."
why?
I don't
We
know.
literally just ate.
I'm just saying, we're going to a desert. It might be, there's like survival things happening.
Bashir
No.
can vouch that the dog is not quite intelligent. Worthy to die.
Scritch, you hear them talking about eating the dog.
You hear Rubik talking about eating the dog.
Well, I mean,
Bashir agreed about it though.
Oh, okay.
Bashir's like,
I mean-
yeah, I'll do it if we have to.
I mean, yeah, the new guys are kind of doing their own thing in the corner. And I want to include everybody that's not a greenhorn. So I open the thing and say, "Hey, Grim, you ever eat goblin dog?"
War, I think, is the name.
He says, no, I've never eaten goblin dog before.
But
Have
would you?
No,
If you had to, would you eat goblin dog?
no, I'd rather die.
Fair enough. I closed the thing.
Probably would die, and then as soon as he says that, you just shut it.
Well,
Yeah, most people are too picky for what to eat.
Well, typically I, would prefer not to eat those less than appetizing for me items.
Yeah,
Maybe it's
all
good, though.
creatures are made of meat. All meat is appetizing.
Not tall people.
Tall people have tall meat. Elves have good meat.
hey,
Humans
Scratch,
have
is
good
all
meat.
meat appetizing?
His name's not Scratch.
Scratch, Gobbo,
Oh damn!
whatever. I don't even know what his name is.
Scree's not on the menu, so you can stop talking about it.
Thank you. See, not a good meal.
Yeah,
I mean, but
he
if
said
we
not
found-
on menu, and he did not say it would not be a good meal.
I mean, you're not wrong. Just because we can't eat that dog doesn't mean we can't find more like him. For future reference, it's like survival training. All the bone collectors need to know, what's good to eat and what's not, for...
Yes, the training. Bashir taught many of the square folk back in Ekron. They were a squishy bunch. Bashir made sure that they could actually defend themselves rather than hide like cowards.
You said orc were more meaty than elves. Were you teaching the squirrel folk to eat orcs?
Bashir tried, but they were all we vegetarians. Yeah, that type thing.
Because that would just be the most savage squirrel folk village then if they just ate orcs, just hunted orcs for food.
Rask is gonna pipe up. Meat with tattoos. With ink? Yes, with ink. Skin with ink is bitter.
Yeah, that is why you use it for leather.
Mm.
Decorative leather.
Can still
Fancy.
eat.
I prefer not to still. I'm
I
good
mean,
at
bitter doesn't mean bad. It just means a different type of flavor than some are used to.
Yeah, bitter can be used with other flavors to enhance the meal.
Like yeah, like some ales are very bitter, but they're very good.
It is true. The Square folk did not drink almost at all. The Bashir had a very hard time finding anybody to match him in drink. One of the reasons he is welcome to have you back, Rubik.
Ah, good. Def, speaking of which, I'd open the window. Get Grim.
Oh no.
How long to the next town?
2 more days. Just kidding. 2 more
I
hours.
just closed the thing.
I'm just imagining Rubik's eyes going like wide with stress.
How long's it been? 15 minutes.
Rubik just rode in this fucking wagon for like 2 weeks, okay? Rubik's tired of this fucking wagon. Get outside. He's about to go up and shoot some shit with the ballista.
No, Rubik's like, give me that glaive again. I'm gonna start spinning around.
Yeah, watch this.
Oh no, I hit the dog. Oh, I guess we have to do food.
Rask is gonna very carefully take his glaive back at this point.
Rubik hands it back to him. He's been using it for like hand gesturing, like pointing at things.
Yeah.
Like he was talking about the dog, he was pointing across the wagon at the dog with the glaive.
he's just like as he's talking, whipping it around the room.
Raz, as he's talking about eating a dog, you actually grab your glaive and set it down next, and you feel something moving in your bag, and you see it's your basically it's your runt amberjack that you saved from Acheron. Named.
Pokemon attached, please.
Shit. Give me 1 second.
Shit. Give me 1 second is the name. No,
Yeah, that's apparently.
If Bashir's teaching Rask English, he's like, these are the curse words. Oh, I want to name my dog after that.
Its name is Kawaii.
Desert of
Kawaii Desu.
Do you want me to give it a Japanese name? God.
Yeah, if you want.
Kawaii Desu Sugoi.
Oh my god.
I want to see like a fan art of an otaku Rubik.
God.
Is it not going to be Henry?
Ooh.
Sure, if you want it to be Henry.
Well,
Maybe
I'm just...
Tink. Here. Let's ask DM. DM, did Tink name it?
He stepped out for a drink.
Damn it! Fuck.
Um,
Tink can name it
but
then.
I'm just surprised that wasn't like one of the first thoughts on your mind.
Because Rask doesn't know the name Henry.
Yeah, but I thought it was like an homage. Okay, I guess all right, fine.
Right. Fine, his name is Heinrich.
That's the name of a car dealership near me.
That's true, actually. He's not wrong. Heinrich Chevrolet.
Yep.
Sure. That's his name.
He's a good little Chevy. We'll call him the Sonic. Or the Spark.
Oh wait, no. It's spelled with...
World War II buff brain just goes to a bunch of Nazi war criminals.
His name is Kierna. Sure, let's go with that because it's
Sounds like it has
Heinrich
that brain
backwards. Yeah, it does. It's Kierna, unless Tink named it otherwise.
No, Tink would have probably agreed.
Okay. Ask is gonna like very carefully.
Actually, we could say that you and
yeah.
Tink named that.
Well, fuck. All right. We named it Kierna, and Rask is gonna like pull it out of his pouch. It's in a little like blanket. He has. Yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry, just what exactly is an amberjack? Because I'm completely blanking on what I'm supposed to be thinking about.
Oh right, you never rode them. Okay,
Yeah.
you joined.
I know you guys described them at one point, but I've completely forgotten.
They're like giant flying squirrel dogs.
Oh right.
Yeah, they're
Sorry.
like flying hyena squirrel dogs.
Yeah. Rask has a mini one. But now Rask is just very awkwardly holding the little blanketed bundle of the runt of a amberjack.
And you see it's just kind of shivering as Rubik is screaming and swinging the glaive around.
That's probably why Rask like just catches his glaive and puts it down.
What's the story behind that, Rask?
There was. It was a runt. They could not ride it. It was too small.
Is it going to get much bigger than this? And how big is it now?
Oh, it looks to be about 15 pounds, probably about 1.5 tall.
So like a house cat.
Yeah, about a little bit
like...
bigger than a house cat. It's a little scrawny. You actually notice it kind of like gets excited as it sees Scritch. And what is your warg's name again? Scree?
Yeah.
Scree they're kind of like laying together, and you see that your amberjack pup, Kuuretsu, or Rask gets up and jumps over and lays with them, and lays right on like Screech's like belly, like almost like a blanket. Screech's belly, I should say. I'm sorry.
Scree or Scritch?
Screech's belly.
Okay.
Scritch is laying on Scree, and now your amberjack's gonna lay on Scritch.
Okay. Rask doesn't really know how to make of that, but he's just like, okay. He's just gonna shrug.
It's like a
Is he going to get much
turducken.
bigger than that?
Hmm?
Is he going to get much bigger than that?
Not big enough to ride, but probably.
Well, maybe for him to ride, and I'll point to Scritch.
Have never seen Runt Amberjack until now.
We'll have pets to take care of.
Bashir, obviously a runt himself, just sort of speaks of. The runts are usually the more fearsome of the group. He's got like a prideful look on himself.
No. Is that because they grew up always facing their siblings?
It is because they are having to prove themselves over those that see themselves as better.
It's a good way of thinking of it. It must be why you survived as long as you have.
Bashir survived because he was found by his father. He probably would not have survived long in the wild.
Well, I'm glad we finally met you.
So is Bashir, otherwise Bashir would be in prison still.
True, I mean, no, you'd probably be sacrificed.
Yeah, they could have tried. Bashir already had a dagger by the time you arrived.
Ooh. You're crafty, aren't you?
Living in the woods, Bashir has been known to make most tools from bone and stick, rather than metal, which can rust and wear away.
Doesn't break as easy, typically.
Sorry, you cut out.
Yes, but it's sturdier.
Yeah, sturdy sometimes. Hold on. I'm having issues. Hello?
Can you hear me?
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Hello.
There we go. Okay. Sorry about that. Discord crapped out on me.
I said, but metal is much sturdier. It typically doesn't break as easily.
Bashir prefers something that can bend and swing with the woods. It is more less destructive, more precise.
All right. I mean, I understand a love for one's craft, and I'll kind of just like pat my bag.
Bashir's just kind of like looking over his gear, like you can't really see it, but he's got like a bunch of bone charms and stuff under his armor, and then his like spear, obviously he made himself.
Wow, all the leaves. I like that brown one.
Yeah, Bashir's just looking at his suit. Every plant has agreed for Bashir to add it to his armor. Bashir would never take away from the forest without asking.
I am running out of things to talk about.
I know, right?
Help me converse with my.
God damn it.
Just gonna. Yeah, he's just gonna watch as you parrot yourself again 3 times.
Bashir?
Hello?
Are you there?
Hello? God damn it, Discord, stop dying. I'm sorry about that.
Should I task Rask with this?
What's going on?
I said, you can help me converse with Masuma, right?
Who?
I'll point to my dragon turtle. Masuma.
Yeah, Bashir can speak with her and relay her needs. It is a her, yes?
Yes. Yes.
Bashir sometimes has trouble with the amphibians and reptiles. The irony is not lost on him that Bashir is himself a reptile.
Is Masuma still sleeping?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Well, perhaps we'll save that for later then. I'd like to let her sleep. She doesn't sleep very much.
Bashir can still do the ritual. Bashir is curious to see what the elk are thinking of the trek. And Bashir will start doing his, I think it takes like 10 minutes to do the ritual, if I remember that right. For speaking of animals.
Ritual casting is 10 minutes longer than the original cast time.
Right, which is usually one action, so I think...
Yep.
Yeah, so 10 minutes of ritual cast, speak with animals, while other people can talk. Bashir just sitting in the corner muttering to himself.
Ruby's getting bored. We've been talking about this leather work for like 20 minutes, an hour. And it's like, we've covered every aspect there is to leather work. And Rubik's like, he just climbs up on the hatch and just goes up to the ballista and he's just looking around for shit to shoot.
There's a ballista?
There's a ballista on the roof.
What is this?
What is this? Is this like a mobile fortress?
It's a war wagon from Age of Empires, okay? Don't judge.
Are we just cruising around in a medieval ATV? Or not ATV, like a Humvee?
It's like the Abrams tank of D&D right now. All right.
Really?
I'd say more like a Bradley, since that's more that's could hold more people.
Okay, well, we get more people mover, yeah, I suppose. But the amount of firepower it holds, because it has more PCs in it, you know, is immense.
Shit, we're just in a medieval APC.
I got nothing else right now.
What? Why did you just...
I'm
What?
exhausted of ideas.
Fair, what?
What? Okay.
Think of his gift.
I'm. God damn it.
Massive creature. Just got my arm and my bag. Oh, I mean, I might as well have thrown myself into the hip. It was.
Rask is gonna count on his fingers. He's like, see it, but I'm. Rask can count 4 times you broke. You. And
I know. Appreciation for this gift, Rast.
Mixing chemicals that explode into multiple effects. It's very dangerous
Yes.
and
yeah, it was.
it only took 4.
You. I mean, that sewer was one of the. There was another time where I. No, Rast was already there. That one it broke.
Oh,
Yeah. It had. A lot more effective with them.
I mean, no one ever said.
God, what the hell is going on with my Discord tonight? Suck.
Salt.
The Jack, and just like hold out a little bit of the peanut butter on his finger for the amber.
All right, you see, he kind of gets up and wakes Scritch up. And Scritch, you kind of feel like these little paws hit your stomach, and you kind of like, ugh. And he starts licking the peanut butter, and now you can smell the peanut butter too.
Yeah. Scritch is just gonna keep laying there.
All right.
Does the dog care?
The urge to want to lick the peanut butter as well, he has stopped himself.
He thought about it, then he realized it's for the little guy, so he contained himself because he started getting yelled at multiple times.
He goes to do a crunch, but it's too much work, so he just like exhaustedly lays back down.
Yep.
Yeah. He's gonna hold out the jar. Is the warg interested as well?
Yeah, the warg is definitely sniffing and kind of licking his chops.
Rask is gonna like scoop out some more and kind of put a little bit on the Amberjack's nose. So he has to work a little bit to get it, and then he's gonna hold out the rest to the warg.
Okay. The warg graciously and very slobberingly takes it and looks at a lot of the peanut butter and pretty much is like begging for more as you just kind of like see him like kind of like pleating his paws as he's on his back.
Does the goblin want some?
Scritch would like some.
As Scritch just kind of like he's kind of like a kid with his moving his foot into the dirt and he's just kind of like got his hands behind his back as he's looking down at you with his big eyes.
Rask is gonna hold out the jar for him to take some. Or I guess he could take the whole jar if he really wanted to. But...
Scritch is just gonna take the whole jar.
Okay. Rask is gonna like make the motion to say something and then just like shake his head and I have more. I will need the jar back after though.
Okay.
No, it's the Tower of 3 with peanut butter. All right. All right, let's not go there, guys.
All right. That sounds good.
This isn't part of the stream. This is why it's somewhere else.
Right.
All right. Do we?
I don't know what the cost
How
of
far are-
Discord is, but I think that's fine.
All right. We're how far are we from the village now? How long has this lasted?
Only 2 months and 29 days and 6 hours out.
We've only been going for an hour. We still have several weeks, and we need to do it all real time.
Oh
Well,
God.
You guys are traveling on, and what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna end there for the night. Where you guys arrive is actually Fort Carax, Kingdom of Warrenheim, the Bear King. He is a human, another human king, just like the King of Delmont and the King of Reven. This is his fort, and you guys are basically coming here to rest on the way there.
Don't let that.
Wait, what's the king's name?
The Bear King.
Is the Bear King in danger?
He is now.
You see black cloaked figures standing standing at the front gate welcoming you, and they all say at the same time, "Welcome to our fort."
Oh God.
Oh God, it's another cult in relation to royalty.
Oh no.
Well, Ruber's
Do we
just
take a second glance and it's actually just the Harpers?
But yeah, good job tonight, guys. Lots of role playing. I really enjoyed it. I think you guys did a fantastic job role playing with everybody. I would like to definitely next time see more of Jack. I didn't hear enough of that beautiful voice. And Scritch and Orin, good job double role playing earlier on in the session. Bravo, by the way, that was a good job.
Hell yeah.
So
Yeah.
So everybody, please turn in your vote for who got MVP tonight, who you thought did the best, and who you thought did the second best. Whether it was who made you laugh, who you thought did the best role playing, who you thought executed their character well.
I like how Jay has 2 selections.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
I vote for Orin, but I also want to vote for Scritch.
He gets first and second place.
Yeah, he can totally do that. I forgot to change that. My bad.
Oh, I like how there's a timer at the top.
Nice. I apologize for having all these Discord issues. I know I shouldn't apologize for stuff that's not under my control, but at the same time, I feel kind of.
It's all good, man.
What good is an archive when the last 10 minutes are just every 10th word?
Thank you, Xander, for your vote. Anybody else got a vote? Let's see. Newbin, you got a vote for anybody?
Nice, Onion. Thank you. I know it wasn't for me, but thank you for voting at all.
Who did Onion vote for?
Scritch.
Nice. Thank you, Onion. Much appreciated.
Everyone who participates is appreciated.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Hello? Hello? Oh.
Hello.
Oh, I was muted this whole time.
Thank you, Xander, for voting. Much appreciated.
Did you not know that you were muted?
Who, me?
No, because well, it wasn't muted on Discord. It was on the little controller thing that's like my actual headset itself.
Ah, I was wondering why you were somehow so quiet. Have you been talking this whole time?
Not really, but
Okay.
You have a vote for anybody, Newbin?
hold on.
Yeah, I guess this time it was Newbin's turn.
Yes.
Pick me.
Pick me.
Pick me, pick me.
Alright, well, I guess I'm just gonna close the chat vote.
I think I'll end my stream here and get rid of the strain on my computer. Apparently it's gonna